Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Reina Creole, and it's maybe I should have tea this morning. So wonderful to see all of you here gathering. This is, of course, the Resort Recon live show where rather than being in the parks, which is usually what I do this in studio show to keep you guys up to date, answer questions, and of course have some fun with my regular panel members and of course guest panel members. And along with the usual suspects, we've got a special guest who I am so glad was able to make it today. So let's get started. Well, you probably want to know, okay, what are we talking about today? We've got a lot to talk about. And let's just talk about the major elephant in the room, attendance at Disney for the 4th of July. Not going to be that good. And your girl is a theme park commando when it comes to the 4th of July. 4th of July at Disney was like a rite of passage. If you lived in the Northeast, that was when your family went down to Disney because, hey, America, red, white, and blue, get to hang out at Disney and you're off from school so you could stay up to I don't know how long. But Disney's having some problems. And just like a lot of us predicted, Epic Universe is siphoning off those guests. So we'll talk about that. We'll also talk about a very disturbing trend that some of us have noticed in the quote unquote pixie duster circles, and that is the faux outrage about certain things in the parks without much clarification or reality check or actual facts, just out there to generate rage for clicks. So we're going to call that out because it is an issue and you guys need to be informed. And of course, Universal's got more Halloween Horror Nights news, so we're going to be talking about that as well. So let me first bring on regular panelists. We've got Erica from Hang with Erica and Roth. How you doing, my dear?
Hey, doing good. Still getting my face on. Sorry, guys.
No worries, no worries, no worries. Well, you're here, and of course, we've got Tom here as well. How are you, my dear?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Well, I am doing well. I am praying that the air conditioner outside will keep working. You know the deal. It's a hot summer in Florida. I had like intermittent power issues, like for I want to say like a millisecond to
Oh,
like half a minute. The power would go out and then come back on, and then everything has to. Yeah, it's the summer, which is prime time for not only the air conditioners to go out because they've been working overtime, but also for internet. If you have fiber internet, yeah, sometimes a transformer can blow and then you got to wait.
well, if your AC goes out, you could always head over here. We don't mind.
Oh, okay, cool.
Bring the cat. Just put him in the room. Bring the daughter. Keep them separated from the hounds. That's about it.
Oh, well, our special guest joining us, and Barry should be popping in a little bit later, but I'm so excited to have her on the channel. She's been in the chat, and for some reason, I had a light bulb go on this morning and say, hey, Erica, can you see if this person can pop on the panel? So, to introduce to a lot of you, we have Sam Wolf. Sam Wolf,
Hey,
military wife. How you doing, darling?
I am doing really good. I was actually gardening when Erica sent it to me. And so I was like, okay, got to clean myself up real quick, get computer set up.
Well, I'm so glad you could make it. I'm like, I know it's crazy short notice, but if she could make it, that would be great, especially with the impending 4th of July holiday that's coming. I especially want some expert folks to weigh in on like some perks and tips and tricks and info with respect to military families, because I love supporting military families on this channel, and especially when I can get information to save you guys money. Definitely want to do that. So let's see who we have in the chat before we get started with the show in proper. Let's see. I see Tom, of course, reminding everybody, catch up on the spice with Resort Recon. Yes, hit the like, then ring the subscribe bell for real. So thank you. We got Braylon Lee. He says, oh, how I've missed Resort Recon. Hashtag let's go. It's hashtag recon time. Hashtag the Pixie Dust Factory has a recall on its supply. Yes. See, here to paraphrase Rick James, Pixie Dust is a hell of a drug. You need to respect it. Yes, it is.
Drugs.
Literally, yeah. Oh, wait, I missed my cue.
Drugs.
Yeah, but literally, it is. It's, the good feeling. Y'all know what it's like to be in the pixie dust haze until you see a price tag and you sober up real quick. Oh, let's see who else got in here. Oh, I'm sorry, Erica. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I know you're good.
Linda's here. Good to see you, my dear. Happy Saturday, and hello, Lorraine, the panel, and everyone in the chat. We've got Keely Chow, another one of my awesome wrenches. He says, hey, everybody, and good morning. Let's see. We have got Christian Sanchez, his amazing stream. Well, thank you so much, my dear, and thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Let's see. We have got Juliet over there across the pond. It says, good evening, Lorena and chat. Well, good to see you. And here's another thing to also remember about Disney. The biggest amount of foreign tourists that come to Disney World, I think it's Britain, from the UK, visitors from the UK, and second are visitors from Brazil. So it's not a proper Disney summer, at least for me growing up, unless you've got Brits visiting in the summer, Brazilian tour groups. You guys remember seeing the Brazilian tour groups in the parks?
Oh gosh, yes. My sister hated those when she worked there. She's like, oh, their flags and their t-shirts and their chants. They would go through the parks just chanting their Viva Brazil or whatever.
Linda has some stories about them too when she worked there.
I got some stories for some folks who were cast members. I forget which exchange program it was, but they were Brazilian. They didn't even like Brazilian tour groups for some reasons. Yeah. Let's just say, suppose what she told me was that in Brazil, they really look down on service workers. So if they found out that like you were Brazilian and a team member, they really treated you like crap. So we need to save that for another stream. Have you ever been like at the park and they're all crowded in front of the castle to take a picture to the point where no one can get around them?
So West Coast, we tend to get a lot more people from like Asia than Europe and Latin America. And I remember the few times I've gone to parks like that, there was always these giant Asian tour groups, and they're all very sweet, but there's like 1,000 of them, it feels like. And when they take a line, and you just have to come back.
Wow. Yeah, we don't get a lot of, we get enough of them that they make a presence, and usually it's New Year's, and it's like all of a sudden, where did all these Asian tourists come from? They're not huge, but they're enough, but they're not like the waves that you're talking about. Because again, probably because you're out in the West Coast. So I would actually love to see that.
They're all very sweet. That's the great part about them. They're all very polite. They're all very kind. It's just there's a lot of them, or at least the few times I've encountered it. And so it's just like, it's not like you can be like, hey, can I, they're so sweet. You just feel bad.
I know.
But at the same time, you're like, There's one of me and lots of you. Can I go first?
Oh, hey, Rabbits and Reels says, good morning, Lorena. Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. And let's see, I think we saw Greg Kirby. I believe I said hello to you. Hello to you. Yeah, I'm keeping a tab in that. We're gonna talk about that actually on the Spice Lounge this week. Hey, Goofar35, good to see you. Sam waving to everyone says, hey, everyone. We have got Security Deb in the chat. Good to see you, my dear. And let's see. Who else we got here? Hello, Kevin Davis. Good to see you, my dear. My dear. Disney embraced diversity and inclusion in parks and studios, turned some folks off. Well, Disney used to do that organically. And I think what's turning a lot of people off is the denigration of other groups in favor of that. They've always had diversity and inclusion. Always. Let's see. Are you planning on seeing F1 next week? Possibly. I'm intrigued by the trailer. And I like to go fast. So if it's a movie about fast cars, I'm gonna watch it.
So mental note, do not drive with Lorena. Got it.
Yes. Yes. True. I will.
That's how you get over here so quick? Come on.
I will put the pedal to the metal. I will drop it like I stole it. My thing isn't how long it's going to get there. My thing is, how fast can I go without tripping off the fuzz so they catch me?
Why do you think I have those devices I have?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And sometimes Siri will give me a heads up about speed traps.
Yeah.
That too. But I blame my grandma. I blame my father's mother because she would drive like she had a lead foot all the time.
I blame Linda.
Curse people out. Yeah.
I blame Linda.
Hey, Sonia. All right, folks. Well, let's go ahead and get started here with the show proper. First thing we're going to talk about is Halloween Horror Nights. So it is the season of announcements. Actually, the houses are already being worked on. I believe work started, I want to say, the end of last month, which is usually when they start breaking ground and all of that. It's very how would you put it? It's very hush hush. You really don't know which house is which house. They all have code names, which is what they told me when I went to the behind the scenes tour. Each one has a code name. So word doesn't get out exactly about which house it is until it's announced. So already announced the the Friday the 13th one that they're having. I can't wait for that. Five Nights at Freddy's experience that they've got going on. Of course, they're going to have Fallout as well. That's another haunted house where you're going to be able to walk through the vault. Yes, especially if you played the game. Some of us have played the game, and I just want my own baseball bat. That's it.
I don't think they're going to give it to us.
They're not going to give us a baseball bat?
I don't think they'd like that with the scare actors. I don't think. Come on. We both be going to jail.
Do they really trust the public with that?
We both get arrested.
Yeah, they don't trust the public with that.
No baseball bat. They probably won't even give us a Pit Boy, probably.
Oh, but come on, Lorena, that'd be priceless. We'd both be getting taken out by security for beating up some zombie.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But
that might actually be funny to see.
And Linda would film it too.
Oh, that'd be perfect. That'd be perfect. Well, let's see. This one is for Friday the 13th. So I'll let this one play. Universal usually plays nice with me on this one. So And this brings back so many memories of watching the Friday the 13th movies.
Live the horror you love to watch at Universal Halloween Horror Nights, featuring Jason Universe and more.
That is going to be absolutely insane. The wait for that is going to be crazy unless you have the Express Pass. If it's anything like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house or the Halloween house, it's going to be freaking fabulous.
When do you plan on going to the first one?
I usually go the first weekend. I wait until the multi-night passes are available. And yes, there are military discounts as well for Halloween Horror Nights. I wait until they announce the multi-night passes for purchase. They usually do not announce those first. So once they come out, I get the pass that I can go, I think, Sunday through Thursday, but I can go the full first weekend and the last weekend.
I might have to get them too, and I'll go with you because that'd be fun.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we should have a channel meetup if folks are going and just check it out because it's even more fun when you go with a group, honestly.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
That's the only way I would do it.
Yeah. Especially for folks who are like, well, I make this a point on my channel with some videos, especially if you're a quote unquote scaredy cat, go with other people or go with an RIP tour, which is like a tour where you have a group, to a group together. So that's another one, just to see people's faces. And the scare actors can pick out like who's who or who's paying attention and who's not and who's not paying attention. And if you stream like I do, eventually they get used to seeing you and they will video bomb you, which is really fun. If you guys saw the live streams last year, I was at Halloween Horror Nights. They'd follow me around. They'd, go and get in the frame. It was fun. It's fun. And with groups, yeah, it's even more fun. So I will keep you guys informed about when the weekend is that I'm going to be there. If you guys are going to be there to go and check it out. Is this live? Hello, my dear, a member for 12 months. Thank you so very much. The premium night last year was a lot of fun. Yes, if you can do this, if you have the means, I highly recommend it. It is for $375. I know. A lot of money. However, it is an extremely limited event. Like about the 10th the amount of people who would normally go. They have you staged getting in. You have all you care to eat food from the menus that they have there. Of course, you got to pay extra for liquor because hey, they're gonna do that. You can actually wear costumes. This is new this year. This is the only time that you can actually wear costumes to Halloween Horror Nights is on this particular night, and you get complimentary self-parking. So it is very, very easy to get your money's worth. And people who went last year, just like Is This Live is saying, people who went last year had nothing but good things to say about it. They were like, there's hardly anybody here. Some of them got to go into houses multiple times, all the food and everything. So unlike with Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, this is limited. Totally. So if you take into account how much you would pay for one day, one evening to get in plus express pass, you're already talking about probably $250 by the time you get done. Might as well go and spend the extra money if you can make it. So if you can make it, I would highly suggest going. So thank you so much, Is This Live, for being a channel member for a whole year. I appreciate you so very, 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 very much. Fannie Willis Booty, my goodness, good to see you. Good to see you. Oh wait, I see Barry. I'm just gonna pop him on the screen real quick, and let's see. Where am I gonna hook you up with? Oh, let's use this one.
And the Disney stock just keeps going down and down and down. And then Bob Iger is all like, let's go everybody.
Cartman does the best Bob Iger. For taking that. Fannie Willis Booty for $9.99. Thank you so very much, my dear. Hiya, Lorena, Erica, and Tom. Great idea, by the way. Definitely a live stream would be super cool. Live stream from Halloween Horror Nights. Yeah, I kind of did that impromptu when I would run into oh my gosh, Myrtle Beach. When I would literally run into him during Halloween Horror Nights. And I think one year I ran into some of the park hopping people, like Drunk 3PO, when I was there for Halloween Horror Nights. So that first weekend, be on the lookout. A lot of your regular park streamers that run into each other on that night. So it's wonderful. So yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Your girl is usually there the whole darn weekend. Yep, Greg, $375. However, all the food that you care to eat, bring your Ziploc bags, and basically there's hardly anybody there. So you can do all of the houses multiple times. And it's that much for a reason. So it's not crowded. Again, unlike Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, which always seems to be oversold, no matter
Oversold, not that great.
No.
It went downhill, and Bob could speak on that.
Yeah, because they have on the West Coast, they have Oogie Boogie Bash, which I haven't gone to, but I've gone to Halloween Time, I think 10 years ago. I think I went. And that was fun. With Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, it used to be like the best bargain that you can get. There's still good experiences there. I'm not gonna lie. It's worth the at least 90 minutes to 2-hour wait to see Jack and Sally. It is. Not kidding. That experience.
And the parade is cool.
Yep, the parade is cool. The candy. That's my primary thing. I'll go through and get so much candy, but
So you'd say that the Mickey one is more for people with like younger kids, and maybe the Halloween Horror Nights is more for like teenagers or like older families and young adult stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah, I would highly recommend that. With Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, it's more fun than let's say gore of like scare actors coming after you with chainsaws and stuff like that, unless you know your child, because I've seen kids who were weird like me who were at Halloween Horror Nights.
My daughter probably.
Cat. Oh, I will go to Mickey's Halloween Party before I will go to Halloween Horror Nights because I don't like jump scares. I scare too easily. So Mickey's Halloween Party is more my scare pace.
Yeah, that sounds more like mine, but I know my daughter would probably love the other because nothing phases her. And it's really funny. Her mom is more of a chicken scaredy cat than she is, and she's not even a teenager yet. So,
oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's so funny because I know for me, I don't like jump scares unless I'm in a group. If I'm in a group, then it's okay.
I love them.
But I love going through the scare zones. That is my thing. And again, I've got I think I still have my channel where I talk about Halloween Horror Nights for scary cats, how you can enjoy the experience and not have to do the haunted houses or be into it and stuff like that. But the scare zones are awesome. So seeing the little kids, like one where I think it was like the torture fair or something like that, and this one little girl was just like, she wasn't phased whatsoever. It was hilarious. Oh my gosh. Oh, but the haunted houses are a different story. The haunted houses depends on the level of haunted houses, because some of them are just like whimsical, scary, and then some of them will straight out give you nightmares, and when you walk out,
Mm-mm.
you're just
Mm-mm.
yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, thank you so very much, Fannie Willis Booty. Just blessing there with those. Thank you so much. I'll hit you with a longer one here. Let's see, where is it?
This is pathetic.
Join in, folks. It's yodeling time.
Here at Lester's.
Elephant green screen effect.
The guy who put this on Twitter, he took it down. I'm like, I'm so glad I grabbed it when I did. Thank you for another $9.99. Fannis Willis Booty says, also in costume possible. I say you do Storm Lorena. That's one of my cosplays I'd love to do. Storm. And the other one actually is Gamora, but that one is much more involved and complicated with body paint. But yeah, I would love to go as Storm.
I just put a paper bag over my head and call myself the Unknown Comic.
My go-to costume in college was always Rogue, because it was easy to pull together.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. But actually last year, 2 years ago, we did a Harry Potter theme, the whole family.
Mhm.
And I was Mrs. Weasley, and my husband was one of like the professors. And our baby, she was a what are the Mandrake? She was a Mandrake, baby Mandrake.
Oh, I love that.
It was epic. It was so good.
Case in point, one of my favorite weapons in the Hogwarts Legacy video game is the Mandrake. So I would purposely farm Mandrakes to use that in combat. That was my thing. That
The
is
thing
so
is,
darn cute.
she was actually really well behaved and didn't cry, and so it was like, oh, this is anticlimactic.
Oh my gosh, that is genius. I love that. Is this live? Hooking me up with $5 Canadian. Let's see, 2 toonies and a loony, or 3 loonies and a toonie, or 5 loonies. I think I got that right. Thank you so very much, my dear. Let's see. We have definitely gotta hook you up. Let's see.
Tell me I'm your own. Check, please.
Camera girl at Halloween Horror Nights. Mom. Meanwhile, someone is hitting the parking lot after getting scared too badly. This year, she said she feels like she's up to it. So we may actually go. She's a theater kid, so like me, she's fascinated with like the cost. She's more with like the performances and everything. With me, I absolutely love the makeup, and I can't tell you how many times I've gotten a jump scare because I am too fixated on the details of looking at a scare actor, and then someone comes in and scares the crap out of me because I'm distracted. Thank you so very much for that. I appreciate it. And I see so many of you guys in here. I think I saw Aldo sneak in here. I see Snort Poopus in here. Phil Metzger. Let's see. Sarah Rust. Hello. Universal Japan HHN sound really cool this year. Universal Japan is the GOAT. when it comes to Halloween Horror Nights. They are next level. Last year they had let's see, something based on the Chainsaw Man anime. If you've ever watched Chainsaw Man, there's nothing but blood in that anime. It is crazy. It's nuts. I was so jealous they got a Chainsaw Man. So that's going to be really, really cool. I want to keep my eye on that. All right, let's see. Okay, well, let's go and before I forget, one more thing about Universal with Halloween Horror Nights. There is a new haunted house that got announced. El Artista, a Spanish haunting. In 19th century Spain, a tortured artist moves into an isolated country manor for inspiration, but the art comes alive and possesses him. Last year, they had a haunted house that they brought over from the West Coast that was more Mexican themed and didn't really go over all that great because there was a cultural disconnect. This is what, like I explained to people, is over here on the East Coast, most of the Latino culture that we're used to is from the Spanish Caribbean. So some things people didn't really quite get. This one will probably go over a lot better with people understanding more of what the basis of it is. So I'm hoping I get to see this on the Six House behind the scenes tour, because I took the tour last year. I'll probably take the tour. Yeah, I am taking it again this year. And what I do is after I take the tour, because there's certain places you can take pictures and stuff, then I break down all the houses so you can see what the houses look like without having to go in. And Erica, you remember that, right? Last year I went through remember last year I showed pictures of how I took behind the scenes tour of like all the six haunted houses.
Yeah. I liked that because it wasn't scary, even on screen.
Mm-hmm.
And we could look at how they set everything up and get ideas for like your own staging areas if you're a home hunter.
Mm-hmm. And especially with like all of the details and what they do and the special effects that they set up. And you find out like how they come up with the houses as well, because there's a very stringent vetting process before they do any of these houses. So yes, that is El Artista. I am hoping to see that. That'll be a good time. Okay, well, let's take a little fun break. 105, excuse me. You guys watching between YouTube and X, thank you so very much for being here. Let's take a little advice. What if Disney princesses had iPhones? Let's see here. Well, it would help, of course, if I actually put the
lost my ride, and some maniac is chasing me with my own shoe.
Relationship advice. Don't give up your voice for a guy who can't remember your face.
Built an entire castle out of trauma and snow. Now my sister wants to talk about boundaries. Dating tip. If he kidnaps your dad, probably a red flag. Stranger gave me this. Looks cursed. I'm eating it. Dating tip. Saving China might be easier than impressing your parents. So I'm under palace lockdown until I marry a prince.
This is my favorite.
Like, I just wanted hummus, not a husband. Kissed one frog. One. Now I eat flies and my credit score's ruined. Dating advice? 0 stars. Napped for 100 years. Missed 2 pandemics, 5 wars, and every single red flag. Relationship tip. If the ocean texts you at 2 a.m., leave it on red. Mom says find a husband. I say therapy. Chased a rabbit, fell down a hole, now everything's talking, and a caterpillar called me basic. The therapist is gonna love this.
3,000 years in a lamp and my boy uses his last wish for a princess? Bro, you could have had a yacht. Not judging, just disappointed.
I love that.
together. That's awesome.
Oh man.
Funny.
It's just I love it when people like put their creativity and like spin on Disney things like that. That is completely up my alley. So of course that's over on Instagram. Look into history. Go and check it out. Very, very interesting. Oh, thank you so very much for this. I appreciate it. Another $9.99 super chat. So thoroughly appreciated. Thank you so very much.
I know you want the goodies. Welcome to the goodie room.
Remember, Lorena, the trick is putting someone ahead of you to avoid the pop-up scares. Yeah, that's what I did when I went with Drunk 3PO.
Oh hey, that would work. He's tall.
Yeah, he's 6'4". He's 6'4". So some of the houses when we kind of like switched off. So usually when he would go in front of me and I started to figure this out, somehow, I don't know how the scare actors did this, but they wound up like separating us by like about a couple feet or two or something. I don't know how it worked, but it did that. But they waited until he went past me, and then someone would come in and scare me. Like the was it Haunting a Hill House? Oh my God, that house was so freaking scary. I forgot you're never safe until you set foot out of the house. So he went in front of me, and then I'm thinking, okay, this is fine. Why did I see some knife come out of nowhere towards my neck? I'm like, dude, you're not supposed to be that far ahead of me. But yes, that is, you can try that, but eventually they figure it out. Yeah, I don't know how they do it, but they do it. But they do it. It's like they see if you've got like somebody in front of you. I mean, if they're shorter than you, they don't care. But if they look like a bodyguard type, yeah.
I tell the actors walking through, the target's behind me.
And they do look for you. They do. They can see you and see who's who and see who's paying attention and who's not paying attention. Hilarious. Akido says a scary maze Universal could do for feminists would be where they see women cooking and cleaning for men. Oh my gosh. Oh, my favorite, the sandwich challenge. Who can make a sandwich?
Changing a
I'm gonna
diaper.
shut up.
That
I'm just not going to say a word.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That doesn't work if the person in front of you is signaling the scare actors. Yeah, I know. He wasn't signaling because he didn't know. But yes, I do know about that. I do know about that. I found out about it later. Hey, Dan, I don't do HHN anymore. It's too crowded for me. Yeah, it is crazy crowded. It's insane crowded. It is crowded like Disney World used to be on the 4th of July, like oceans of people. So I usually go the first weekend and then I try to go in the middle of the week. The weekends, Halloween Horror Nights. Oh Lord, it's insane.
Do you want to try Hollow Scream this year?
Yeah, I do want to try Hollow Scream because I haven't done it. I haven't done it before.
That's where Linda got the living crap scared out of her. Real good.
Yeah, I've heard its reputation precedes itself. So I'm excited to check it out this year. Hey Aldo, thank you for being a member for 3 months. Said I was watching an old Simcast and you were on. Wow, that was like what, 2 years ago? I think that I was on Simcast for a little bit. That was definitely a fun time. My nerdy home was there too. You all look so different in the good old days. I was excited to see you. Yeah, things have definitely changed over a number of years. Pretty cool. I would love to know how much revenue HHN makes for Universal versus Not So Scary for Disney. I would bet HHN is at least 40% higher. You are correct.
Mhm.
I would agree with that.
100% correct. If you go back and you look at all of my live streams from Halloween Horror Nights, the crowds of people, one, who are already in the park, because you can get in the park ahead of time if you get the stay and scream, which I highly suggest you do, especially if you're super broke or you have a really tight budget. Get there early. You can hit the houses without having an express pass. The amount of people waiting to get in, the amount of food that they go through, just it is crazy how much money they make off of Halloween Horror Nights. That's why they can charge as much as they pretty much want for those express passes, and they sell out because people want that experience to get in, to do the houses early. It's not like the houses are not half-assed. There's so much that's going. It's a whole vibe to that. So, and yeah, and they do. They sell a ton of booze at Halloween Horror Nights.
It's a party, and the main event are the houses, more so than rides. That's what I've noticed with live streamers and anyone I've talked to. It's all about those haunted houses and yeah, drinking and eating. You get bang for your buck, it seems like, and nothing's broke down. Everything works.
Yeah.
You seem to get a lot more value than what Disney offers.
And plus, if you have a annual pass, you get discounts at all the food kiosks.
Yeah.
Like at least 10, I know at least 10%. But yeah, unlike at Not So Scary Halloween Party, you don't get discounts except for on the admission in some and on some nights. But Halloween Horror Nights, you get that discount. You get the tribute store they do every year. They have the Halloween Horror Nights tribute store they do every year with tons of swag in it. They sell so much, out of that way, and it is. I can't again. Got to go back and look at the other live streams until I go back this year. It is crazy. Go look at the crowd levels that are there, and then compare those to what's been going on at Disney of late. Fanny, girl, you are absolutely just blessing me with this. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that, my dear. Just come on, Lorena. I'm Black, and we all know sisters scare and scream differently. And plus, my buddy worked Halloween Horror Nights, and he said sisters were the most fun to scare. We definitely need the live. Yes. Yeah, we do. We do. Although I can't scream like a white girl in the horror movie, which I'm not even trying to get to that level. That's epic level. But we really do scare differently. You got to come up real inventive to like scare us. But once you do, the reaction is just too crazy. Perfect. Just like again when they tried to scare me with a knife coming at my throat after Drunk 3PO passed me, and the first thing I did was grab him by the collar and yanked him back because I said, if I'm going down, you're going down with me. The video is still up on Park Hopping. Go check it out. It's from a couple of years ago.
Oh, I need to go see that.
Oh, thank you so much, Fanny Willis. I appreciate that, my dear. Facts on facts. True. Yes, and it's especially funny watching like Black and Latino people at Halloween Horror Nights. I'm for real. That's something to say. But yeah, Darkmoor. I'm pretty sure they're going to do something for Darkmoor. Camera Girl wants to check that out. That's going to be another money mill for Epic Universe Course for people who don't want to go to Halloween Horror Nights for whatever reason, or who do not want to go to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. I would say for a little bit over the price of a ticket to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, you can just go to Epic Universe and hang out in Darkmoor. Darkmoor is it is amazing. I mean,
Or Harry Potter.
Yes, Ministry
Either
of
one.
Magic.
Yeah, one's
Ooh.
one's
Mhm.
just as like mystical and dark as the other.
Harry Potter
Pick
is
your
our
costume,
go-to
pick your
Halloween
land.
movie. Oh, sorry, Erica.
Oh no,
Yeah.
you're fine.
Harry Potter is our go-to Halloween thing. That's what we watch with my kids. Like, we love Harry Potter. That's about as creepy as we get.
Especially with the Death Eaters. The Death
Those are my
Eaters
dudes.
every year.
Those are my dudes.
I love them. I tell you, if they see that you're Slytherin, they really will not mess with they really won't mess with you. That's the key. I mean, they might check to see if you have the dark mark or something like that. Well, they pretty much assume you have it, but that's something I've noticed. If you have something that obviously calls out that you're a Slytherin, if you're hanging out with a Slytherin, well, they'll probably try to recruit you, but they're not really trying to like super scare you, which is cool. Yes, they do. They do. If you have the highest tier AP at Universal, they will give you a complimentary ticket to Halloween Horror Nights. And yeah, Disney, they really don't. They really don't, which is a shame. Well, speaking of Disney, and we need to talk about this. Erica brings the pain with this one. I'm so glad she found this article. We're gonna talk about this. Mom gripes she's forced to shell out $70 just for daughter's cereal at Disney World. Now, when I look at this, I'm going to let Erica actually take the lead to summarize this article before we go through it. When I saw this, I'm like, $70 for the cereal bin thingy at the buffet? I'm like, I don't understand. How the heck could you be forced to pay $70? So Erica, since you found this article, was she really forced to shell out $70 just for cereal?
No, she wasn't. When you read the article, she's a travel agent. She knew what she was getting into. She posted a video, which she didn't clarify was basically rhetorical, and she got her rear end handed to her in comments from both pixie dust and non-pixie dust people, and which is another sub issue, or is the clickbait articles we're seeing an increase of. But that aside, do your research before you go into the parks. Her daughter is 4 years old. I mean, what 4-year-old do you know is really going to eat the cost of a not really a buffet, but all you can eat because they bring it to your table.
Unless
You
they're
really
drunk
have to.
on the Goonies.
Yeah. I mean, Christian at 4 years old could inhale some pancakes and sausage, but not all 4-year-olds are, could eat like that. A lot of them are picky. She could have saved a ton of money just waiting in line for meet and greet at Cinderella, pack some PB&Js. I think this was more what she wanted as the mom. Her daughter, the likelihood of even remembering this event is going to be nil to none. So you really have to do your research. And then, the clickbait is another issue with what we're seeing a trend with these pixie dust, with the pixie dust community. We'll say it like that.
It feels desperate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would have to agree on that. Full disclosure, I used to have a Disney travel agent, and I had a Disney one that I trusted because I'm so type A. if I'm a theme park commando and I use travel agent for that long, yeah, they must be on point. I had one for like I think 15 years, ever since Camera Girl was 4. She was on point. And to hear that this chick is a travel agent and posted this is a slap in the face to all of the independent Disney travel agents that work hard to deliver value for their clients. My travel agent, as soon as a discount came out, she was just like, "Yeah, I got the discount, applied it to your reservation. You got extra money for souvenirs." Like that, she was like on the phone as soon as they dropped so she could get the discounts for all of her clients. So this is just ridiculous. But let's let the video roll, speak for itself here. Well, if I had to,
Let's see it. Are they any? Like, show her the frosting flakes. Let me see your cereal.
I'm sorry, what? She's a travel. Wait. She's a travel agent and trying to expose the prices at Cinderella's royal table. Okay, first of all, again, full disclosure. I think up until Camera Girl was 16, we would always go to Cinderella's royal table every year because that's what she wanted to do. So I have pictures of her from like really little to like teenager with all of the princesses there, because that's just like a thing that we like to do. We like to go to the castle, get the pictures with the princesses, but also for us, the dining was a thing too. That's the other thing that we like to do. And especially we would go like on Christmas Day. That was one of our things to do if we were at the park on Christmas Day or 4th of July, but mainly Christmas Day. All of Disney's menus are online.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like amazed how many people don't know that. But you can go and price and see how much things are, and more importantly, what's being served. So if your kid is not about the food that's going to be there, you might want to bring some other things. But this is literally the most expensive character meal to go to, and not a lot of people go to this one. But here we go.
Cinderella cereal.
So first of all, here's how it's $70 for a bowl of cereal. You pay up front to go to Cinderella's royal table. You literally have to pay that amount of money up front unless you have the Disney dining plan. If you have the Disney dining plan, you're going to wind up paying anyway. I think it comes from the deposit, but you can get a reservation for Cinderella's royal table. However, it is not 1 dining credit. It is 2 dining credits. Am I correct with that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's signature dining, so 2 would equal 1. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's you have to get 2 dining credits, and that's what you or pay up front. So the price to get in, the cover charge is already $70. So to give this impression that you had to quote unquote pay $70 for your daughter to have cereal at Cinderella's royal table is extremely disingenuous. There's a kids menu that they have. If you're on the dining plan and your kids are there, you have to select from the children's menu. And it's all fixed anyway, because some kids don't want Mickey waffles. Some kids don't want that there. They just want,
What they're
Lucky
familiar
Charm.
with.
Exactly. They
Mhm.
want what they're familiar with. Some kids do not want to see weird food or anything like that. I mean, Camera Girl was different because she's used to Disney food. Like she wants to go. She wants the Mickey waffle. She wants, all of that stuff. So she's used to it. But for some kids who are extremely picky eaters, be forewarned. I mean, they have stuff like cereal and milk and all that, but you're paying the admission price before you get there. And as a travel agent, she would know that.
Well,
She
and
knew better.
yeah, and the thing is, there are a lot of other instances in the parks where prices don't match what they should be. They were talking about like a slice of cake at one of the places was ridiculously overpriced. That is what we should be talking about, not these instances where people are just trying to get attention and misrepresent Disney. They had the choice. You knew what you were getting yourself into. This is not rocket science. And I mean, my kids, they would probably polish that food off and it would be a bargain because my kids are big eaters. But if you know your kid isn't that, then you are a parent, you have brain cells, you should know your pocketbook. Don't put yourself in that position.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell
Yeah,
people,
and
oh, go ahead, my dear.
one of the comments, like if you scroll down the article, it kind of highlights what some of the commenters were uh, blasting her on. And one of them was how she didn't fully disclose that the child's price is different than the adult's price. And it's still expensive, either way. But the fact that she's a travel agent, you know, uh, she knew better. And it's just no mystery. Disney's expensive, what we should be seeing more of is the reality of Disney, like what we do here, keeping it real, no obfuscating, no clickbait, just here are the facts. If you want to go, here's what you're in for. If you think you can get better value somewhere else, well, it's your choice. But I'm kind of surprised for a travel agent that she'd kind of do that unless she's looking for clicks and she's looking for clients. But I don't know.
Erica, I think you're onto something. I think you're onto something with that. Any Disney travel agent worth their salt, like my travel agent, who lived in New Jersey, by the way, Tom. She was cool. She was so cool. Yeah, she lived in New Jersey. The whole travel agency was actually in New Jersey, but it catered mostly to people from the Northeast who were visiting Disney World. That's how I found out about Jersey Week. You don't want to go to Disney.
They need to. It's the way we talk. They don't understand everybody else.
I'm like, I trust you after listening to you. But most Disney travel agents worth their salt. They are working to give you the most bang for your buck, information that you would not know that they know. So if your kid's like a picky eater, they're probably going to say, yeah, I don't know if you really want to book there, but I will if you want to. But be aware, it's going to cost you X amount of money to go. So if your kid's a picky eater, and I think like we were saying in the back in the green room, if your kid's a picky eater, you're probably better off packing the snacks that the kids like and just getting in line.
Yeah. And there's not much of a line right now. Like the attendance is low. So you're waiting, maybe 30 minutes at max to go
at least now, yeah.
Princess hopping. They have all of the princess character meet and greets basically under one roof, or most of them anyways. And you can knock out Cinderella, Aurora, maybe Tangle, and one other one that they throw in there randomly.
Yeah, just go and you can go and see them, and you can see the princesses around at several of the parks between like Epcot and between the Magic Kingdom. I know Magic Kingdom seems to have the biggest concentration of them, but yeah, Disney counts on you being ignorant of what's going on. So this is like what I found out when I was 15 years old. My family couldn't seem to figure out what the heck to do except get there late to Walt Disney World. And I'm like, wait a minute, there's all this information. Wait a minute, there's something called the unofficial guide to Walt Disney World. I would buy that sucker every year, get like a stack of Post-its, and would comb through that entire thing. And like, okay, we need this costs this much, this costs this much, this happens here, this happens there. Doing that research, because you've got people who will spend $10,000 on a Disney vacation and you don't do a lick of research, which is what Disney wants you to do. They really want you to do that. So with Disney, it's like your time is money. Just like oh my gosh, mouthsavers.com says your time is money. The less time that you have, the more money Disney's trying to push you to spend. And the less that you're aware of all the information out there, the more Disney is going to fleece you for. You have to understand, Disney is the casino. They're the house. The house always wins.
You know what WDW stands for? No, it's not Walt Disney World. We devour wallet.
Yes.
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 That's a good one.
Yes.
Well, especially I see a lot of military families going with little kids, and there are people like Erica, or you can go to the Morale leisure travel. They'll help set you up with this stuff, but they don't even bother to do that research. They just book these super expensive stuff with these little kids, and they barely get anything, and it's costing them insane amounts of money. And I'm sitting there going, honey, you've got resources. There are ways of doing this that are less expensive. And they're like, but we just have to do it this way. And I'm like, fine, go for it.
Yeah, in the military community, I would say by and large are easily duped into these Disney vacations. Not many of us are informed, and they're even if they get sucked into, nothing against the Army's MWR resorts and the military discounts, but sometimes the military discounts, you're not getting bang for your buck. You have to really kind of slice and really price hop and compare, where you can pull your discounts from and where you're getting more bang for your buck. Like with us, if you're a Florida resident and you're stationed in Florida, if you change your state residency from, let's say, Colorado to Florida, you actually really need to do your double research, because sometimes the Florida resident discounts are better than the military discounts. And in some rare instances, you can kind of double dip on both. You just have to know how to do the math and how to figure out how Disney's manipulating you and how you can manipulate them back. But for the most part, there are a lot of military families that just get caught up in the Disney, the pixie dust. They get caught up in the pixie dust, and they just book because it's Disney and it's got to be good, right? And they're not really keeping up with what is going on with Disney. What am I really paying for? And it's kind of sad, because right now Disney just does not have the value, and there is a lot of people out there that still think because it's Disney, oh, I'm just going to see all this cool stuff, we'll do all this cool stuff. And then you get there, and we're seeing this in the Disney Facebook groups. Families are getting there and then reporting back in the Facebook groups it was overpriced, they weren't getting what they expected, and they were coming out disappointed. And that's why we exist. Channels like this.
Yes. That's why we exist. Because your girl comes from a background where, honestly, if both sets of my grandparents didn't live in Florida, we probably would not have gone to Disney as much as we did. So for us, it was like a side bonus to go, but we had to watch every penny when we went. And you could see everything everywhere. Well, this was back in the day where you could actually get some bang for your buck with Disney. But now it's like I'll go in and I'll see like how much things, like simple thing, autograph books. I harp on this
Yeah.
constantly.
Mhm.
Autograph books. You'll see the kids or, the parents that have bought them like these expensive, I think they're like $25 now and $15 for the pen for the Disney autograph books. And I
Ridiculous.
it's ridiculous. So I told people one of the things that I did with Camera Girl when she was younger, and actually I got this from one of my Disney on a budget groups. Get like 4x6 cardstock from Michael's. Punch a hole in it, like the 3-ring hole punch or just one in the corner or something like that. Put them all together. Get a big fat Sharpie pen and take that. Even personalize the front. The characters freaking love it. And especially the the fully costume characters like the heads and everything, like Tigger and Pooh and even Mickey and Minnie. They love the Sharpies because it's big enough for them to like grip around it and and sign. And these are ones that you can make that you can make yourself at home. Yeah, it takes a little bit of an effort, but the characters love seeing things that people bring from home. And that was like dirt cheap. And I think we bought one autograph book one year, like years ago. But then after that, I had to just, first of all, she visited too many freaking princesses and characters. So I'm running out of pages in the autograph book. So that's why we came up with that. You do not have to buy an autograph book. You can bring anything.
But the personalized ones mean more because that's what we did when I was a kid. And it was just like we got this little notebook from the dollar store and we glitzed it up and it meant more because it was one of a kind. No one else has got that. That's just mine. And then the kids, it's a project before, but it's also something that they can you can make it so that they can skip a page or whatever, and they can add their pictures in, so they could get an autograph. And then if you are able to get a picture, put a picture in there too, that sort of stuff. And I love that. I think people don't stop and it takes maybe a little more time to prep ahead of time, but you save money and it means more in the long run.
It really does. It really does. I mean, when I go back and I look at the pictures that Camera Girl took when she was really little to like when she was a teenager, and we did one where we had like one picture of her when she was 5 and another one when she was like 12 with the same princess, and they were just like, oh my gosh, look how much you've grown. And it is, you're right, it means so much more with things like that. I was disappointed when I took the wife there. Just don't go there anymore, people. Well, there's some people who do still want to go. So what I say is, if you still want to go, we're going to arm you with the information that you need before you go. So you don't walk in there blind, because for some people that's what they want to do. That's where they want to go. And I don't begrudge anyone their happy place. But I will pull the curtain down. Well, again, Disney's objective is to separate you from your money as quickly as possible by any means necessary. That's exactly what they want to do. They will use your exhaustion. They will use your kids. They will use your own parents. Okay? They don't care. They want to raise, exactly like Nicole Williams. They don't care. They just want to raise prices, which they do. They're more into satisfying their shareholders than satisfying the guests who pay the money to fund the parks, to fund the media lines. They've lost respect for that guest base, because it used to be Disney was expensive but worth it. Because again, Disney is not immune to the law of economics, and this is my master's in economics coming out. If the consumer views something as having more value than it costs, they will make that decision Because
Mhm.
how else could you get people to, and I've never seen this happen. Imagine telling the pass holder, you're not going to get a preview, but we'll give you a discounted ticket to get into our new park. I didn't hear anybody going to Epic complain about that. At least that I was around. People were just like, yeah, just I need to get my ticket. Why can't I get why can't I get my tickets? Because people perceive the value rather than how much it costs. With Disney, they have pared down the value immensely. I mean, you can't even get the 3 hours in the evening, extra magic hours. And I remember staying at like Pop Century and getting to stay in the park till like
Yep.
3 in the morning.
They're trying to monetize in any way that they can, and right now they're so desperate for money, the cash grabs
Oh
are
yeah.
even more obvious than they have ever been. And
Mhm.
either there's like 2 camps here. You got people that are either really aware of it or people that are not. There is no
Mhm.
in between. And you get these people in these Facebook groups and, "Oh, I didn't know this and know that. It was so expensive." And the comments are just, "Oh, well, you should have known. Oh, ha ha, I could have." It's no wonder why they get all these like laughing faces, because it's like you're in the information era.
Oh
You
yeah.
should have done your research. There's really very little excuse nowadays for that kind of ignorance.
Well,
I
and then
honestly think Disney could easily bring more money back by just getting rid of their reservation system and
Oh
opening the
God,
gates again
yes.
Mm,
and
yeah,
letting
yeah.
pass holders come
there's
back in because pass holders, especially, we'd go in there, walk around Epic, eat. Sorry, not Epic,
Mhm.
Epcot. Sorry, brain fart. Go through, do all that. Me and Linda would go 3 or 4 times a week, just for dinner, just to walk
Mhm.
around, get some sights, or just to walk, grab a bite to eat. Times that by 2,000, 3,000 people. You have traffic.
Yeah,
You have more money coming in. You have.
there's revenue.
They just don't get it. It's like, okay, you're trying to get all your money out of your out of state visitors by putting on restrictions on people who can come every damn day
Mhm.
and
without
then
a reservation. Nobody wants to be bothered making a res. I don't. That's why I gave up. I didn't want to do it. It's like, no, I don't want a permission to use a pass that I'm paying for. I paid you $2,000 a year for my ticket plus hers, roughly after taxes. So that's
Mhm.
$4 grand a year. For you to tell me I have to make a reservation to walk in the door? Sorry, I'm done.
And then there's, for example, I know some people are like, "Oh, just don't go to Disney anymore. It's not worth it, whatever." I have a family I know that are military, and 20 years ago when they got into the military, they promised their kids, not when they got in, but once they started having kids, they said, "Okay, when daddy gets out," because daddy missed all sorts of birthdays and vacations and
Mhm.
everything. He missed so much. And then they had all girls. They said, "When daddy gets out, we're going to all go to Disneyland. We're going to spend 2 weeks at Disneyland. We're going to do a princess. We're going to do everything." And they had promised their girls this forever and ever and ever. And then the Disneyland quality dropped and dropped, but their daughters had this expectation of, "We've missed all this time with daddy. This is what we want to do with daddy." And so when they were planning the vacation, I told them, I'm like, "That's not going to be the best value. You guys could do so much more at somewhere else." And she's like, "I know, but this is what my girls have been looking forward to.
Mhm.
So even though it's not what it would have been 20 years ago, it's what we've been looking forward to. So we're going to do it anyway." And they still had a good time because daddy was there.
Mhm.
And I did point them towards the good resources I was hearing from you guys. So they were able to get discounts and get the help they needed. So it wasn't insane, but at the same time, that's what they wanted to do with their daddy.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I
I
really
can I can I can vouch for that we were in that same position. When Christian was little, he was always fascinated with the contemporary hotel, but we could never afford the deluxe resorts. And one thing about military is we can never plan. We always have to have that vacation insurance, or we always have to have the
Mhm.
refundable flights because you never know when a real world situation is going to happen and your active duty spouse has to be called into work, and like everything can come at a crashing halt at a moment's notice. You're always on guard. There's no such thing as planning anything as a military family. So, finally, I never told Christian this, but in my head, I was thinking, when he graduates, we'll do something big like that. And we did. When he graduated, I asked him, "What do you want to do for your big graduation gift from me and dad?" And I gave him the option anywhere in the world, anywhere. And the one place he said was the Contemporary Hotel at Disney World.
Mhm.
And I kept pushing him, "Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?" And he's like, "Mom, I've been wanting this since I was in the 3rd grade." And he's known very well about the quality of Disney. We're a Disney family. We've had family work for the parks. He was very aware. He didn't care. To him, it was more about the hotel, and just that experience that, we've never stayed in a deluxe resort. I just want the experience. We went and he had a great time. And that's all that really mattered, was, that's what he wanted. He got what he wanted. He was happy. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
say you can have a good time at Disney. You just need to set your expectations realistically. So when you do go, the disappointment isn't as severe.
That's a very good point, Erica. It's like the Disney, like I tell people with my experience, pre-2018 was completely different than post-2018. There's something about that trip that I took in 2018 which just put in my mind, you know what, the Disney that seemed to be benevolent, that would advertise profusely about how affordable it was to visit and all these different perks, that you could get, cast members that couldn't seem to do enough for you. Just all of these side things that you would get to make it the happiest place on earth, to getting there. And it's just like, decline by degrees. Everything costs way more than it should be. You're not getting, the value that you should get. And that was the year where Camera Girl raised on Disney. And I don't mean just raised on Disney. I mean, every Disney trip, we had like 5 or 6 Disney princess gowns that I had to pack every time. That was her, to her saying, I don't want to go anymore. And I'm just like, really? She's like, no, I'm not interested really anymore. But you have families where that's what they want to do. So it's like, okay, if, for example, okay, if you're going to go to the haunted house, let me give you some survival pointers if you are absolutely determined to go in there and check it out. And that's what we do on this channel. Like I do not like telling people what to watch. I don't like telling people what they should buy. I don't like telling people what vacations they should or should not take. But what I do like to do on this show, and which is why I love the panel that I have every week, is to give you the information, and you can use that information uh, as you will. Disney wants to keep this reservation system so they can continue to data mine you. Make no mistake, that's exactly what it is that they do. If they can get away with the bare minimum, they will get away with the bare minimum or even more than that. It's no longer about you as the guest. It's all about the returns for the shareholders. By shareholders, I mean institutional shareholders like your Black Rocks and your Vanguards and all of that. When you're going to these parks where the parks aren't kept up, where you've got LED lighting that they put curved instead of at an angle like they did at Epic. So they're coming up out of the ground, and I showed you guys this a couple months ago. I'm just like, why is it up like that? It's even worse. They're using nails to put it in there now, and that didn't fix it. Yeah, like that was supposed to fix the problem. Stuff like that. Epcot being under construction for 5 years, and what did we get? A Beyonce stage, and Fountain Nations is no longer, there. Uh,
I
that's
call it the
just what
stripper stage,
the which stage?
stripper pole stage.
Yeah, that's the other one too. They have stripper
Yeah.
pole stage
Oh.
and an outdoor Starbucks. That's basically what it is. An outdoor Starbucks, mouse gear, which is which was the most themed Disney store
I
ever. I
can't believe they
think
killed that store.
right now only
Mhm.
World of Disney at Disney Springs is a pale comparison to what Mouse Gear. Mouse Gear used to be so darn popular that kids would go to the Disney store and be like, "It's okay, but it's not Mouse Gear." Way different. So you have to go in there with enough ammo to realize, you know what? Maybe we don't have all three meals in the park. Maybe we just have
Mhm.
one at the park, or we're not getting a whole lot of merchandise. You know what, let's actually load up at the likes of Five Below, or go to the Walmart near Disney, which has the best swag anyway for the parks, and get stuff there. And we might buy one souvenir at Disney. No, we're not buying the $25 balloons, that are there. We're not doing all this extra
Yeah.
stuff.
I knew one military family that they told their kids that they're like, okay, you save up your money if you want to get something. We're going. And one of their kids took that literally. He mowed lawns, he shoveled snow, he did everything. He earned quite a bit of money because he's like, I'm going to Galaxy's Edge and I am making myself a droid. And he earned all the money at like 11 years old doing
Wow.
That's cool.
Did we lose Sam?
I think we did a little bit. She got out. But yeah, I get her point, when the kids save all their money because this is what they want. And the droid experience is actually really good. I just haven't done it yet. I mean, yeah, they've kind of upped the price a little bit,
I've
but
done it twice. It's fun. Linda
yeah,
did it.
I want to do it. I want the pink R2D2 droid with the attitude chip,
I
and
got
the
an
little snuggly to put the droid in. I do. I think that's really cool. I want to do
honestly,
that.
I think that sounds like fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Droid Depot. I get the best kick out of going into the Droid Depot and looking at how excited people are, especially kids, because I love robots. I'm an engineer. I love robots. But when they're putting the things together and putting the robots together and assembling them together, and sometimes the cast members will have other robots around because they can actually talk to each other. You need more than, you need more than one. But it's very fun. It's a great atmosphere that's in there, and that's one of the few things that you can actually get a good experience from, unlike Savvy's workshop where the lightsabers are
Did you
like
see
falling
that
apart.
big R2 they used to have there that was for sale?
Mm-hmm.
I came so close. I was like, how do I afford that?
Theory
And
sabers. That's where you get your lightsabers.
Yes. Mm-hmm. You do. But yeah,
Linda talked me out of it. I'm glad she did.
uh
Yeah,
yeah,
there are
it
here
was
and there.
bad.
It's just we're just trying to help you guys be in the right mindset. It's all about mindset when you're
Yes.
going to Disney nowadays. So our mindset is Disney's going to get some of our money, but they're not going to get as much as they think they are because I'm on to them. I know their BS. I know their tactics. So we have a complete strategy, on how we mitigate the cost and still enjoy our time there. And really, it's more about spending time with each other than really is the
Yeah.
destination.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people like us, there there are some big sentimental pulls to Disney. I got engaged there. I honeymooned there twice. Um, I've had family work for them and have done some really beautiful big projects that I can't say and I won't. And when we walk through some of those areas, it just, you just can't, it's hard to let go. It's hard to just walk away for some of
Yeah.
us. Uh,
It really
and
really
there
is.
are families like that. There are families of employees that it's kind of has a domino effect, on a family. So yeah, Disney's expensive. Disney's doing a lot of crap decisions. Uh, you just have to be realistic.
Yeah, you do. And like Erica was saying, like for my family, 5 generations of my family have been to the Magic Kingdom. So that's why that's the park that I always go to. It reminds me of being there like with my parents. It reminds me of being there with Camera Girl. It reminds me of being there with my grandparents, both sets of grandparents when they were alive to go. When I would get tired at the end of the night, my grandfather would like pick me up, put me on his shoulders, and I remember having my arms around his neck and just falling asleep while we were leaving, Main Street USA. Yeah, getting lost on Main Street USA and not knowing I was lost because I was too busy looking at things, stuff like that. So for some of us, we have those memories where we still like to go to Disney to relive those, but we're a lot more careful. There's a reason that most times when I go to the parks, the only thing that I get is a Joffrey's cold brew coffee.
Because you're addicted.
Yeah, I'm addicted,
Hey,
especially Joffrey's.
my
So
guilty
am I.
pleasure are those infernal pink drinks at Starbucks. Those things are addicting.
So
That
darn good.
strawberry coconut,
So darn good.
golly.
They are.
I will confess, I have stopped at the Springs to get a Joffrey's because I was, missing it.
Like you got to hit the Gideon's
They got
cold
some
brew. Cold brew, cake, and coffee. No, cold brew, cake, and cookie. Sorry.
Wait, Gideon's have cold brew too?
Yes. Yes. And they have seasonal flavors with the cold brew. Like every month, there's a separate
I didn't know
seasonal
that.
flavor of cold brew.
Oh,
I'm going
Why'd
back
you tell me
soon
that? What? Just why?
because
Enabler.
if I have to go through that, y'all have to too. That Gideon's is the most disrespectful. I haven't used that in a while, but it's true. The most disrespectful confectionery that's out there, between the half-pound cookies, between the 3-layer cakes that have like a half an inch of icing between each layer of cake. Cold brew, where you have the standard ones and then they have, the cold brews of the month. That's all I'm going to say. That place is it's worth the wait. The theming inside is somewhere across between A Nightmare Before Christmas and Beetlejuice and Edgar Allan Poe. When you go in there, it's amazing. But yes, Ron, Tom, you got to try the cold brew. Try the cold brew, Gideon.
Then you're gonna have to meet me there today because I want the recommendations.
All right.
I'm jealous.
Linda's gonna have to pull me out of there with a insulin needle in my arm.
Yes. Hey, Nita. We'll get into this story here, which we've kind of been touching on during the show. But here from Breitbart, Disney World sees noticeably low June attendance, slowest Junes on record in the past decade. Disney World has seen noticeably low attendance in June, with visitor numbers down and lack of crowds during usually high times. According to Disney Dining, the current June numbers reveal a stark contrast with previous summers, which could be a possible harbinger for trouble in the coming months. Now, those of us who are theme park commandos who've been to Disney, we've been seeing this. I've been seeing this, I want to say since 2020. Not 2020. When did I move here? 2021. I want to say 2023, after the pent-up demand for travel went down. I noticed being in the parks, and remember when it used to be just like oceans of humanity in the parks?
Shoulder to shoulder.
Yes. Shoulder to shoulder, you have to park all the way out. Well, it used to be Goofy. Park way, way, way out if you got there too late. You could barely get down Main Street USA. Yep, you could barely get down there because there were so many flipping people trying to get into the park and not really trying to leave. And Disney actually was blocking pass holders out. Like, case in point, I was blocked out of the park last year for July 4th. I had the Sorcerer Pass. This year, I was allowed to go in July 3rd, July 4th, July 5th, July 6th. I was not able to do that last year. Not able to. Disney has a ton of discounts that are going on, and we've seen this, I want to say, since probably March or so, because I know Pro has said that on his show, that the crowds are not there. Discounts we've never seen in forever. Disney is throwing this quote unquote cool kid summer. You guys saw when I went to Hollywood Studios, was that like 2 weeks ago? Yeah, impromptu dance parties with the Disney characters that's not behind a paywall. Never seen that before in my life. With the amount of discounts and stuff going on, it's like a fire sale. And traditionally, from July the 4th, actually a week before July the 4th, till I want to say first week in August, usually be hardly any discounts. That used to be, like, outside of Christmas, the most expensive time to go to Disney World because it was crazy and crowded. And again, the Northeastern tradition was to go to Disney World for the 4th of July. You go now, it's like a ghost town and has zero to do. I know Bob talks about how it's too darn hot. How many of y'all used to go to Disney World like in August? Because that's the only time your parents could get to go. And it was like going south of hell. And you went and there were still crowds everywhere.
My birthday's in August, so there's, yeah.
It was just crazy. It was hot. Everyone knew it was hot, but you know what? The parks were still crowded, still full of people. And that is not the case, especially this year. Kiss My Grits coming in hot with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, my dear. Here you go. Thank you for that $20 super chat, my dear. So appreciate your support of the channel that way. The gauge I use to determine if Disney is crowded or not is how easy it is to book a reservation at Beaches and Cream Soda Shop. Yes, right now there are 9 open reservations for tomorrow, which is unheard of in peak season.
Wow.
You were absolutely right.
Yep. That's a good call. Good strategy.
Yeah, because Beaches and Cream is so hard to get a reservation for them. I in a way, I selfishly don't want to talk about Beaches and Cream because it's one of the few restaurants on Disney property that still feels like Disney. It's small. The demand is crazy because of the experience to go, and you usually have to book there weeks in advance. I remember what was it, like the 90-day booking window if you had a package.
Oh, gosh.
This was one you were trying, like, I don't know what to get into because it was so hard. That many open reservations for tomorrow is ridiculous. I've seen people go, like I have gone up to the podium like on a day to see if I could get in, and they're just like, no, we don't have any, no reservations. Walk up is completely booked. That is one of the most popular places to go, and yes, 100% unheard of in peak season. Peak season, you can hardly get into anything. Now it's like you can pretty much get it for everything, especially this one, because this is a tough one. That is crazy. Ugh, that is nuts. Yes, Nicole, go to Gideon's. Gideon's is amazing. Gideon's is amazing. That should be a dang headline video that's empty. Yeah, crazy empty. I will be back at let's see, I will be back at Magic Kingdom on Monday night. They're actually pushing out, Magic Kingdom isn't closed until 11, which means theoretically it's going to be open till 12:30 in the morning. I don't remember them doing that the longest time. Yeah, they want people to stay. Theodore Smith, hello, says, I was not impressed with Peaches and Cream. It's one of those Disney adult raves that is just BS. It all depends on the person. There's some restaurants that are overrated at Disney that I call are overrated. It is a fun place. I think so. It is definitely worth the visit. Some people aren't gonna like it. If you're not in for the show, if you're not in for the red light that goes off every time someone orders the kitchen sink, because that's the thing. The kitchen sink is the dessert. They use a whole can of whipped cream. They announce it coming out. It's like when the fajitas will come out at like Fridays or something like that. It's a whole thing. I remember one kid was there for his birthday. He ordered the kitchen sink and he was taking video with his iPad of them bringing it over. And it was like his best, it was like his best day ever. But yeah, not everything is for everybody. And that's okay. And that's okay. That's okay. Nita says Beaches and Cream has the same feeling as Carnation Main Street Cafe in Disneyland, that old Walt feeling. Yes, it does. That and Whispering Canyon Cafe at Wilderness Lodge. Just saying.
See, and those are locations that Beaches and Cream is popular with the locals too and cast members. I didn't really know that. And my sister kind of, gave me a tidbit, but word has gotten out over the years with the tourists that it's and in terms of theme park food, Beaches and Cream, the quality is there. Like their burgers, their sandwiches, it's on point. But then again, your resorts are going to offer higher quality food.
That is true.
And so I had a family member that worked, we'll say, not an executive, but in the upper echelon of food and beverage. So when it came to eating on property, we were always advised, stick to the resorts. And one of the top-notch places was Beaches and Cream. And now I've only eaten there like once, and it was when we second honeymooned there, and I understand why. It really is good. And the theming of the old school, back when it wasn't the more old school soda fountain shop themed, where you
before
that was awesome. Before they did and they did an okay job with the renovation. As popular as the restaurant is, they needed to expand anyways, because it was so small before, you couldn't fit anybody there. And I do like the walk-up window. So if you can't, if you just want a milkshake or an ice cream, you can go to the walk-up window. You don't have to eat there, if all you want is just a malt or a milkshake, which is their malts is what they're really known for.
And I will say for us lactose intolerant people, Beaches and Cream has a sunshine shake that is made with orange sherbet and I think it's ginger ale.
Oh, I did not know that.
So good. Because again, I went to Beaches and Cream because I'd heard about it. Camera girl wanted to go. She has no problem with that. I'm just like, why do you want me to go where there's a bunch of ice cream? Well, I saw that. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, with orange sherbet, little whipped cream, and ginger ale, and it is absolutely freaking fabulous with that. Beaches and Cream is at the Beach Club Resort. So if you take the boat from Epcot to Beach Club and the Yacht Club, they're connected together. So you just take the boat over there, and it's right outside facing Stormalong Bay. So that's exactly where it is. Yes, I will be going to that. Yes, I will be going to Rivers of America that whole weekend. 4th of July is basically going to be Rivers of America weekend. Yeah. So I will be there. No, Nita, that is actually tomorrow. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. is my 5-year anniversary show. I cannot believe it's been 5 years of me doing this craziness. But yes, that is tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. You did not miss it. Let's see. Okay, here. Social media. This is according to Disney Dining. Social media feedback painted a picture of low energy across the park, starkly contrasting the vibrant atmosphere typically associated with Walt Disney World during this season. Some users even remarked on the eeriness of encountering low crowds, urging discussions about what might be causing this downturn. The economic landscape is proving to be a significant hurdle for Disney World. Rising costs associated with vacations have been a repeated concern for families planning their own outings. With admission prices climbing and the cost of lodging and dining ever increasing, families are feeling the pinch in their budgets more than ever. I would say y'all are about a year behind on this. Those of us who have been in the parks, exchanging information, this has been the case. And oh my gosh, Nita, y'all gonna make me cry. Oh my gosh, thank you so very, very much, my dear. Dang, y'all are just gonna make me cry. Thank you so much, Nita. Oh my gosh. Says happy early anniversary, girl. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. You guys are such a blessing to me. I cannot thank you enough. Wow. Thank you, Nita. Thank you so much. You're trying to make me cry on screen. I think that's what you want to do. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys being here. Just allow me to have fun doing this stuff. I mean, wow. I thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So much. She's awesome. She's awesome. Thank you, Nita. Much love, my dear. Blessing not just my channel. She blesses a lot of other channels too. So thank you. Let's see here. Yeah, they're behind. They're behind. Again, we talked about this. The temperature is nonsense. The temperature is that is a non-factor. Everyone who goes knows how hot it's going to be in the summer. As for particularly high temperatures, Florida's always hot in the summer. If you want to know what it's like being in Florida in the summer, get a towel, wash it in hot water, put it around your head, turn your oven on, let the heat come out. That's what it feels like in Florida in the summer. But
you forgot to add the humidity factor. You need to blow hot, wet air at yourself too.
Yes, you do. You do. You can't. It's always, your clothes will always stick to you. Doesn't matter what you do. It's why it sticks. That's why showering twice a day and using deodorant is your friend. Native body spray, daggone it. Y'all hit a market with that. I always have a can of that or a stick of that in my bag. Trust me, because near the end of the night, people
ever be on the ferry coming back over and somebody's really ripe in front of you and that wind's coming in, you're like, oh my God, use some deodorant.
Dude, you can get the mini natives. I keep those in my purse. Like, I love native deodorant too. Totally.
Yeah.
I used to bring one of those little air freshener sticks that you put in your vents, put in my backpack. And if they got ripe all around me, it wasn't me. I just clipped one on my shirt so I could sit there and breathe that and not that crap.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That
Jeez.
is.
I'm here for Germany. Some Germans, I swear, only shower once a month.
You know, those little Airwick ones that clip in between the vents, They don't even notice them, and
Mhm.
you just do something that's a flower sound neutral scent, so you can just smell that because
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do now.
Oh,
And this
that
is kinda dumb because, born and raised in Florida here, and the temperatures there's nothing in the atmosphere that's changed where all of a sudden we're unusually high temperatures for Florida this year. No, it's always been this way. Going all the way
you live
back to
in the
the
devil's
80s, it
butthole.
has
It's gonna be hot.
yes.
yeah, it has always been stupid hot. Like, come on, it's
And I
Florida.
like it.
You're on a peninsula, in the subtropics. What do you think it's gonna be like?
Exactly. It's not well, people from the Northeast, pretty much summer in the Northeast and summer in Florida is pretty much pretty much the same thing, but we're on the coast. So we're used to summers being hot, humid, sticky, and nasty. So when you're in Florida, usually it's just like you wind up at least taking 2 showers, especially before dinner. But if you're out at the parks, of course, tourists are all gamey and everything. So yeah, that deodorant clip idea and the native sticks that Sam was talking about. I think they're like three or $4, I think, at Target.
Yeah,
I
they're like
Walmart now.
$3. I've got mine at Walmart, Target. Heck, the military commissaries have started carrying them. They're fabulous. I keep it in my purse. I've made my preteens because they smell and they don't remember. Oh,
Mhm.
heck yes. I keep that for them too. 'Cause
It's
when
like,
you
"Do
have
you not
preteens,
know
you
you
know,
Boys,
you
stink?"
know.
It's like, "Do you not know that you smell?" I don't know, something about teenagers and like, "I'm
boys,
sorry."
we don't register that. Sorry.
No, they don't.
No.
Mine's 21 and it still don't register. I'm like, "Dude, like,
Oh,
come
no,
on."
by
You're at
17, 18, you started to register because the whole girl factor really kicked in.
Mhm.
Before
that
that, it
has
was kinda like we
yeah.
didn't care.
This is what Erica and I were
Mhm.
talking about before, was that this is why you need family, because family can tell you, "Hey, you stink.
Yes.
Go take care of yourself."
You need to go take a shower, dude. Like, come on.
It's just like,
This
you are
isn't
not
how
clean.
you gain a wife.
Mhm.
Just
There's a
saying.
reason why Axe body spray, for better or for worse, has sold as well as it did back in the day. But yes, you do it accordingly. You're not out in the sun between noon and 6 o'clock. It rains the same time every day between like 2 to I would say 2 to 4 p.m. Usually that's when you got thunderstorms that's happening. People always know it's hot in Florida in the summer. So that's a non-issue. But waiting for cooler months, only if you live here, because it's more expensive to come to Florida when the weather's cooler than when it is hotter.
Don't give away that secret. Stop. Don't give away the secret.
What?
Don't
Did it
do it.
cost more for the
Let them suffer in the heat. Come on.
the heat is like that's when, I'll call it nosebleed, the nosebleed sections where you have to, you can only pay so much to go in the concert, so you're way, way, way up there. Yeah, that's how it is in the summer down here. But this one here, the park has also faced challenges from competing attractions at parks like Epic Universe. Oh, it is
Yeah. We
from
were
Epic
comparing
Universe.
was it on I forgot which show was it Pro or, That Park Place? We had one panelist on My Disney Experience app and another one on the Universal app, and we were in real time comparing the wait times.
Mm,
And Disney was consistently under an hour for all their rides. And understand that they inflate the wait times. So, it was easy to get
mhm,
on average, the wait time at the Magic Kingdom, which is their flagship park, was maybe 20, 30 minutes for everything or walk on. Epic Universe, over an hour for almost everything. I think with the exception of, Monsters Unchained was, like, at a 30-minute, wait at that moment that we were
mhm.
capturing the wait times. But yeah, Epic Universe you could just based on the wait times was way up and Disney's was way down.
Yeah, and just like you were saying, Erica, and you guys have seen it on my streams. How many times has there been a posted wait? Like my favorite is Haunted Mansion. Well, they'll post a 30-minute wait.
Yeah.
Take us like 10 minutes, literally.
Yeah,
to get in there.
right now, Haunted Mansion is at a 40-minute wait, and it just dropped in the last half hour. And understand it's inflated. So most likely you're probably waiting maybe 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Peter Pan is 55 minutes. Usually
That's a
it's
walk
over
on.
85 or 90. Um, it's just, let me see here. Mine Train. Mine Train is right at an hour. I would say maybe 45 minutes, maybe 40 for Mine Train.
Yeah, I'm inclined to believe you on
Mad
on
Hatter
that.
Tea Party, 25 minutes. No, that ride is always walk on. I'm sorry. 25 minutes. No, it's probably 10, 15. Yeah, and these are all 5 minutes for Speedway. What's Space Mountain like?
Yeah,
65
what's that?
minutes for
Okay,
Space Mountain.
that's short.
And that's probably, yeah. 10 minutes for, well, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor is always walk on. Buzz
Mhm.
Lightyear's 35 minutes, and that is one that can get backed up, historically speaking. Pirates. Let's look at Pirates over here. Pirates is 30 minutes. Honestly, 30 minutes for Pirates, it's probably 15, maybe 20.
I agree.
And Enchanted Tiki Room, 10 minutes. Aladdin's Carpets, 10 minutes. Country Bear Jamboree, 10 minutes. Jungle Cruise, 35 minutes. You can hit the entire park if you get there in the morning and go
Mhm.
all day. You can hit every attraction with these wait times. You can do it.
In comparison, usual summers, let's see, Peter Pan's flight, about like 2 hours, 90 minutes to 2 hours in the middle of the day. Space Mountain, I've seen a 150-minute wait for Space Mountain in the summer. I've actually waited in line for that long for Space Mountain. Splash Mountain used to be like an hour and a half. And if Big Thunder Mountain went down, that would go up to like 3 hours, and people would wait in line for 3 hours.
Battle of
over
Ministry is 120 right now.
which Battle for Ministry?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Here's the thing about Epic Universe. Monsters Unchained, that wait time
15
is
minutes,
not that
Monsters Unchained.
low. 15? Okay, the reason that wait time is so low is not because it's not popular, but around this time of the day, well, let's put it this way, in the morning, people go one of two places for most of the day. Super Nintendo World or the Ministry of Magic. And not very inclined to leave unless they've done what they want to do and want to see what else is over at the other side. And they'll wander over there towards where Dark Universe is and Isle of Berk. But it's not
Werewolf is 50 minutes.
50 for Werewolf?
For Werewolf.
Okay, that's about right.
110 for Mario Kart.
That's about right.
That's about right, yeah.
Donkey Kong's 105.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
60 minutes for Yoshi's.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's their version of the People Mover. Ooh.
That Super Nintendo World is slammed. Tell you, it's so bad. Well, bad in a good way. That they sell the darn power-up bands when you walk into Epic Universe. There is literally a separate line where you can get your magic band and check out. So you don't have
Fire
to
Drill,
that
35. Wing Glider, 135.
That's about right for Wing Glider. Yeah.
50 minutes for Dragon Racer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's Isle of Berk. That one is tops with a lot of families because there's lots of things for families to do, and the dragon effects are crazy. Like the ice dragon, That's triggered when you get close up to it, and it'll like blow, I guess supposed to be like ice smoke. I didn't feel any cool air. Maybe they did it now. I don't know. But there's so much stuff there to do. There's covered areas like to rest at. There's play areas for the kids. Yeah, that definitely makes sense, because that's with all the people that are going to the park. But Disney, and they've done this repeatedly, and this is why they do the reservation system, so they can make you balk at they'll entice you not to go on a certain attraction because of the wait time.
And your favorite ride is only 35 minutes.
Which
Carousel.
one? The carousel.
But wait till nighttime. That goes up.
Yes. I think at night the wait time is like almost 40 to 50 minutes, but it's not a wait time like you would think. There's like a wait time where you get to see the water show, and there's all of these water fountains that are around you. So there's the main water show, but the water jets on the sides of the carousel are in sync and color with the other ones. It's crazy. It's like you're in the middle of everything. I love that darn carousel. You go front, you go back. Sometimes it's nice ethereal music, and other times it's like a rave. I don't know who picks the music. Let's see. I think Sam has to go. I'm so glad she could be here for a while. It's been a pleasure having her on the show. Let's see. Get her links.
I got family stuff that's happening, so I'm gonna need to bounce. But thank you. This was amazing. I had so much fun hanging out with y'all.
Oh, well, thank you. It's glad having you here. Got to have you back again. Can you tell the folks where they can find you?
Yeah, so I am primarily a military podcaster. I cover, if you want to know more about military life, or if you have someone you know who's in the military community, we talk about deployments and work-life balance and all sorts of stuff. I've got my degree in family life science and human development. I've got 4 kids and a dog. My husband's been in the Army for over 10 years. And we just talk about life, the universe, and everything on my channel. I'm on YouTube, but I'm also on Audible, Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio. I've been doing this for about 3 years, and very frequently Erica and a bunch of other military spouses and I will get together and do panel episodes where we'll talk about stuff. Erica and I just dropped an episode this week, like a couple days ago, where we were chatting about how military celebrate and the military birthday party and what we thought about the celebrations and stuff, and funny stories from military balls and dining out. It was so much fun. Anyway, we chat about military life and life in general. Because I'm a mom with 4 kids, and so it's life, and we try to keep it real.
I hear you. Well, I'm so glad that you're here. And folks, I'll put a link to Sam's channel also in the description box of this live stream for those of you who are catching this on the repeat. Don't worry that it scrolled by. Just go in the description box, click the link to her channel, and make sure that you are subscribed. Cannot wait to have you back on again, Sam. Thanks so much for joining us, my dear.
No problem. This was a blast.
Hi, Sam. Nice meeting you.
It was wonderful getting to see you, Tom, finally. And then Erica, it's always a blast. And Lorena, I've been having fun with you for a while now, so it's been great to finally be on.
Oh, well, great. I'm so glad. Take care, my dear.
Bye, Sam.
All right, folks. Let's see. Someone sent me something else. I've seen odd things happening. Hey, 40s Mandalorian. Yes, Disney does do weird things with. It's based on Disney. I don't know how many people know this, or maybe you already do. Disney bases a profile based on who you are. So depending on your email address or whatever, they know how many times you've been to the parks. They know what to let you see, what not to let you see. And one of the reasons that I know this, I mean, I knew it, but One time when I had to combine 2 email accounts together, they had my darn Disney Movie Club login, which I hadn't used in I don't know how freaking long. And they were able to see that. So yes, they will show you certain things based on who you are, especially with the big, huge data warehouse that they have on everybody and the models that they can use to pull out certain people, which is why certain people get certain discount codes and certain people do not. They are, yeah, they know who
They
you are.
track.
Hmm?
They track because everything is tied to your fingerprints, and everything from there
Mm-hmm.
is just
Yeah, they've
yeah.
they've got a data. The FBI is
Crazy.
probably jealous of how much data Disney has on people. That's why they're not giving up that reservation system. I told you, they need that for
Yeah,
their
no,
forecasting to do that,
which is
so they can.
stupid. They didn't need it before, and
Mm-mm.
they don't really need it now because they're not really garnering a whole ton of
There's no
attendance.
need.
You
There's
know,
don't. I'll go off the tangent again. I'll shut up now.
No, they
they
don't. I mean, Universal, they've got it a
they
different
had it.
way.
They didn't even have it during the pandemic. You
No,
know, Disney's just retarded. I mean,
Yes.
geez.
SeaWorld didn't have it either, and
Mm-mm.
it's
That's the only reason they want to be able to control who they bring in, who they don't bring in, and that's the whole thing. It's like Plankton, always spying on the Krusty Krab from the Chum book. That's pretty much what Disney is. Disney is Plankton right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much what they are. Hey, going Shogi, good seeing you, my
What's up,
dear.
Shogi?
Oh, so yeah, let's see. The recently opened park, talking about Epic Universe, has become a popular draw. You think? Capturing the interest of families looking for new experiences. Reports indicate that many families prioritize visits to this new venture instead of making their usual trips to Walt Disney World, which is leading to significant attendance drops, noted the outlet. Did we not call this like over a year ago?
Oh, Marvin has been calling. He's like, the other outlets are finally getting on the bandwagon. And he's like, we've been screaming this for over a year, and now they're finally catching up. I
Yeah,
love hearing his tangents.
it's like you've had your head in the sand for over a year. You've even had the likes of Iger and
4 years.
Mr. Which one?
Mm-hmm.
They had 4 years to prepare for this.
They did. I
Yeah,
did.
they did.
I'd argue that they had 6 when it was first announced, and 2 years of that was delayed because of the pandemic. But you had Josh Tomorrow, Mr. Skinny Jeans, like, no, Epic Universe isn't a threat. No, it's not a threat. People are going to love seeing the concept art that we have for Villains Land and, the refurbishment of Epcot. People are going to want to pay for that.
You
We
couldn't
kept
even
saying,
deliver on Fantasyland. What makes
no.
you think we were gonna, trust you could, come through on anything else? Which, by the way, everything else since then has been nothing but a freaking disaster. You put out your concept art and it's nothing. And I mean nothing like what you put out. I'm still salty about not getting my Pixie Hollow. Y'all are freaking
No.
retarded. You could have leaned into the fairies and really ignited, even more selling stuff even to little girl, even to boys. You could bring in a whole fairies that are dudes,
Pirate thing, that was like
eh,
really leaning into what little boys wanted.
they
That
could
was
have
like
done so
crazy.
much. Like they really have just dung for brains
They
when
they
it
really
comes to their
they really do. And it's like I was telling you guys, I want to say maybe about a year. Not too long after I moved here. And I went to Universal and I did a survey and they asked repeated questions. how they compare to Disney, what we can do better than Disney, how much of your time is spent at Disney as opposed to Universal. What could Universal do to make you stay on property with them and spend your money? They've been collecting that data for over 10 years, sitting on it and not saying a darn word, just building stuff. It is not a surprise that Epic Universe is the way that it is. And those of us who live in the real world, what you call your rational consumer, that's why I say Disney is not immune to the laws of economics. They're looking at this like, there's all this stuff coming in the new park, all this stuff that we can see. A park that seems kid friendly because let's face it, Disney is chasing the Disney adults, prioritizing the people without families, dinks, double income, no kids, single adults, all of that. Why do you think that all of a sudden they're leaning into quote unquote cool kid summer when they've never done that before?
And it's a ripoff. They don't even offer discounts to Magic Kingdom, which is their flagship park. If you want to give families, a bone or a break, and you really want to call it a cool kid summer, then give the discount to the Magic Kingdom.
They're not
But the
going to, Erica,
discounts were
because they're
going to
killing
the other
Magic Kingdom.
parks. And most families, see the BS in that. Oh, really? You're going to discount these other parks that my kids, and yeah, they like to go, but the one park they really want to go to is Magic Kingdom. And you're not going to discount that for my family. I'm still having to pay out the rear, and at the end of the day, it's math, not magic. And they just can't afford it, or they force it, by financing and credit cards,
Mm-hmm.
loans, whatever which is 95% of your, Disney vacationers, they finance. They plan 1 to 2 years out, $200 deposit. You pay monthly. It's paid off 30 minutes before your check-in date, which I get it. We all live pretty much in that same borrowed, on monthly payments. Some do,
Mm-hmm.
some don't. But you have other families that are like, yeah, no, we see what you're trying to do. We see the manipulation of my bank account. And I'm sure there are a ton of other things I could put my money towards where I'm getting more for my money.
Absolutely. And it's like people can see that when certain outlets were saying, oh, attendance at Universal is down. I think it was like last year. It's like, yeah, there's people who are just like, you know what? Epic Universe is coming. Maybe we'll
Yeah,
just
but
put off our
even last
trip
year,
for a year.
we were even reporting last year that though the attendance was down, it was still up in comparison to Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what other outlets weren't reporting on. They were intentionally leaving that out just to play up Disney.
Yeah, they weren't talking about that. And again, rational consumers who, it takes them not like 2 days, not like 2 months, more like 2 years or more than that to save up the money to pay for a vacation like this. Or like, go to Disney where we're not getting all this stuff. Or go to a park that's got the brand new park smell on it. And not only that, but IPs that that the kids are really into. And that's the thing. Disney used to be on point with what the kids were into, but still rolled it in with the Fab Five characters, like the whole 90s aesthetic. A goofy movie. That's all I need to say. They totally captured it with that. But now kids are not thinking about Disney. They're thinking about Nintendo. They're thinking about Hello Kitty. They're especially thinking about anime.
Yeah.
Especially thinking about anime. Illumination. Those little yellow minions, they are making a ton of freaking money. Harry Potter. And then you have the original monsters, with the Universal Monsters and Isla Burke, which completely went under my radar. I had no idea how big How to Train Your Dragon fandom was. So now you have all of this in a park that most youngsters can, relate to. It's like I've said before, if Disney wanted to pull in an IP to be more up to date with kids, they would have pulled in Bluey. And they didn't. They went with monsters and the folks whining, saying that the Muppets are, that they're outdated. No, no. The last day that I went, that I could, for Muppet Vision 3D, the kids were laughing. You want to know why? Because physical comedy is never going to be outdated.
Yeah, that slapstick comedy is always gonna be, and that's what the Minions bring in. That's so funny,
Mm-hmm.
and I think when you compare the Minion shorts to any of the new Disney Mickey Mouse shorts, that they've completely changed the animation. Mickey's voice is different. Even Minnie Mouse's voice is all different, which I get. A lot of these voice actors pass away, and you have to, hire new ones. But there's always one voice actor that's gonna hit it closer to the original than someone else, but for whatever reason, they're hiring these voice actors that don't sound anything like the original, and people can hear it, we can see it. The
Mm-hmm.
animation is so different than what it used to be. It just doesn't capture anyone, and I'd rather watch a Minion short than any of the new Disney shorts because they're funnier. It's just more engaging, and it's like Disney's holding back. They're pulling back on their comedy, almost as though they're afraid to offend, and I see that in the new animation shorts
Mm-hmm.
versus, what Minions is bringing in, where Minions, they're not afraid to just get out there and just be funny, and Disney, I mean, you can kinda tell they're holding back, and it's kind of funny, but not, and then you have the animation style that just doesn't draw you in either. The Disney, it's their own fault why they haven't been keeping up the momentum since the '90s.
Agreed. Agreed. They just kind of
Agreed. But
coasted.
I want to know why you don't like my new princess voice. It just kind of goes like this. How you doing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and not to harp on it, but I will. But I will. It's like the spirit of Walt Disney is over at Epic Universe.
Yeah, it is,
Just
and that's sad.
it is. It's sad. You would never think that another company would have been able to, for lack of a better term, steal your best creatives, your best Imagineers, your best team, your best cast members, okay, and bring them over to another park.
Should we call them
When you look
enticed to come work there
Yeah,
Yeah,
instead of steal them? It was enticing for them to get a job after they were so unceremoniously brought to Florida, then laid off, as Nita brought up in chat.
well, you
yeah.
have this succession with the Imagineers that went all the way back to those OG legends, and you had this succession of training the next generation and the next generation, and Disney screwed up. They decided to get into politics and let go of people they thought weren't worthy enough based on, sex, religion,
Mhm.
political views, the color of your skin, and they lost all of their good talent. And now they're at your competitor.
Yeah.
And, in a real twisted way, we kind of have like an Oswald situation without, the, copyright thing. But in a sense, you let someone else steal the spirit of Walt from
Mhm.
you. They just can't come back and copyright it. They can't come back legally and be like, "Well, we're going to be Disney now." But in an underhanded way, in a roundabout way, you have sold Walt to your competitor.
Yeah. Absolutely. Akido says, Lorena, are people only going to Epic half a day? Epic still counts. It is sold out, but I noticed most of the rides are walk on for me after 1 p.m. on a Saturday. Um, I know I was there for a whole day. I know Tom was was there at Epic for a whole day.
Right.
Yeah, it's most of the rides. Were any of those rides at either Super Nintendo World or Ministry of Magic? Because those two
He got
areas,
on it in 45 minutes, he said in chat,
45 minutes.
for
Okay,
Battle Ministry. I'm
Battle
jealous.
Ministry. Okay,
I still haven't been on that dang ride, and I went twice.
Yeah, I think it's finally gotten to a steady state. I mean, I'm grateful they let us see the atrium, but
Yeah.
it's like, come on,
Next time
y'all,
I
really?
go, that's the first ride I'm going on. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to camp that thing out all damn day until I get on.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, I still
I'll have to steal your gimbal and I'll have to stream me standing there all day.
like here I am. I'm still waiting
I'm still waiting. I
the
moved
wind to
5
go
feet.
on. But let's see, to kind of wrap up this article here from Touring Plans, which I used to follow online for a bit. We're now looking at one of the slowest Junes on record in the past decade, not the past year, not the past 2 years, not the past 5 years, but the past decade. The only slower June was in 2021 during the pandemic, which makes sense. And if this trend holds, which it will, we're going to have to rename Cool Kid Summer to Ghost Town Summer because literally it is a ghost town at the parks. And it feels abnormal for me walking into the parks and there's so much personal space because there's not that many people that are in it. It is extremely abnormal if you're a Disney commando. You know something's like, wait, why is there's hardly anybody here, especially in the summer, where again, masses of humanity are usually at the parks, especially July the 4th weekend. So it's going to be really interesting because I'll be there the whole entire weekend, bouncing between Universal, Disney at the Magic Kingdom, and actually SeaWorld as well. So you can see what the crowd levels are like with what's going on. But as Breitbart News reported earlier this year, Disney executives have reportedly expressed worry behind closed doors that surging ticket prices could be alienating its core customer base, the middle class. I thought their core customer base were the 1%. At least that seems to be what they shifted it to, because they have been alienating the middle class for years. So I'm wondering if these are low level executives where, their advice has been vetoed or what, because they have been increasing prices like, yeah, that's what we're going to do and just deal with it.
Maybe like park executives on the local level, but not on the corporate C-suite level.
I can see that.
It's like, okay, it's like, what does that mean? Because there are executives that work in the parks,
Yeah.
but then you got the C-suite level of
Right.
executives.
So you have like the president of, like, say there's a president for Epcot, there's one for, all the parks, and then there's one, over them. So yeah, I could see that because they are at that level. They're that level type of executive that individual shareholders wanted to bring onto the board, but our proposal got voted down. They didn't do that.
Well,
it's like, yeah.
And a lot of those executives are middle class. Just because they're an executive doesn't mean they're making a whole crap ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
They're making, at least for Florida, I can't speak for California, they're making, I would say, middle class wages. They're between 60 and 80 a year is probably what they're pulling in.
Mm-hmm.
And for the cost of living in Florida, that's depending on your size family.
I would
it's
say
expensive in Florida.
At least looking at some of the salaries, like about close to 6 figures. And even if it's less than 6 figures with total compensation, probably is at around 6 figures. But you're right. They're at the level where they see the people coming in every day. They see the receipts every day. I'm pretty sure they're running queries in Snowflake and Microsoft BI and seeing just what's going on and what's off. Because let's see, they've internal surveys showing a decline in guests who are planning return visits to Walt Disney World and Disneyland. Yeah, they are way past that.
Return visits. Emphasis on return. That's
Mhm.
what's dying.
Yeah,
That was their bread and butter. Generational, coming back
Mhm.
year after year.
Yeah, it's the Pareto rule, 80% of your customers making up your base, and then you have the other 20% that's, the outliers that are the ones who are like make more or make less. But Disney's moved away from that. And they wanted, the whales jacking up the prices on everything. And there's even some middle class, because I was totally in that group, where it's like, yeah, you know what, we could afford to drop,
Mhm.
possibly 10K, but we're not doing it. And I remember several trips where I stayed at Art of Animation, because it was newer. Stayed at Art of Animation. I can't tell you how many luxury cars were in the parking lot. People were just like, yeah, we could afford to stay at the Polynesian, but we're not. We're staying here because there's just no way we're paying what you're asking for. It is ridiculous. And, it's, it is just really, really, really messed up. But the evidence was out there. They just decided to go with what the shareholders wanted. Institutional shareholders, I have to say that. Institutional shareholders, not mom and pop, or the kid who has a couple of shares of Disney stock. No, we're talking about the ones who handle billions in Disney stock. This is not new to any of us who have been paying attention. You can see it for yourself. Go and look at, let's say, live streams from 2021, 2022, and look at what they've been like within the past year. It's very obvious. I mean, when you walk in and you see that it's going to cost you at least around $120 plus tax just for one day at one of the parks, and for 5 days, it's probably going to cost you around $600, and that's just for one of your kids that is under the age of 10. People are going to think differently, and they're going to act, accordingly. Exactly. Chris McGritt says the 1% are not going to pay nearly $1,000 a night at the Grand Floridian when they won't be receiving the luxury amenities they're accustomed to at the Ritz of the Four Seasons. Yes, I had actually entertained staying at the Four Seasons and looked at how much it was in comparison to the Grand Floridian. I'm like, shoot, I might as well stay at the Four Seasons. The Four Seasons, and I think the Ritz too, they have their own party bus. I'm calling it a party bus. Yes, it's exactly what it is. They have their own party bus that goes to all the parks to pick up, the guests and everything. I've seen the Ritz-Carlton party bus. I have seen it.
Is this
It
the
does
Four Seasons over at Golden Oak that's on Disney, on Disney property?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't stayed there, but
Because
I've seen it, or I've seen it on YouTube.
yeah,
On
they
aerial
have
views on Google Maps.
it's gorgeous. The Four Seasons that's there, because there's two, because there's the Four Seasons and there's two
Right.
Ritz-Carlton. There's just two Ritz-Carltons. So there's the one Ritz-Carlton that is in Bonnet Creek, because it's right there near the Hilton. Hilton and the Ritz-Carlton. Yeah, they're right there. They're right there together. So yeah, this is not news. Those of you who are catching up, or we saw this coming. We saw this coming, and you had Disney spreading the pixie dust. Or what is it from that movie? Was it The Naked Gun, where Leslie Nielsen's like, nothing to see here?
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of stuff popping off. Nothing to see here. Nothing is wrong. It's it's gonna be fine. No, it is not going to. It's not going to be fine. It's going to be a very, very cruel summer for Disney, and they're
And
not ready.
No, and they keep throwing out these, oh, we got this is coming out and that's coming out like the night parade. And it's like, yeah, that's fine and great, but you're banking on this tidal wave of people to come back into your product on something that's very minute compared to what your competitor is putting out there to the consumer just down the street.
Oh,
I
and
mean, like, eh, wait till Epic Universe maybe one day will bring out their own night parade, plus drones, plus fireworks. And they're really gonna outdo you
Mhm.
in
That's got to
terms
be
of a
coming.
night show.
That's got to be coming.
SeaWorld's got a drone show.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a drone show. I know Epic Universe, it might be ready by 4th of July. I know they're working on their fireworks show because there's been fireworks testing for that. The Disney Starlight Nighttime Parade, they basically ripped that off of the parade from Tokyo Disneyland. It looks literally the same that they have it. They're extending hours, but did you guys know there's rules for pass holders?
What? What are the
Yeah,
rules? Now I'm
let's read
intrigued.
this one. Let's read this one. Disney Starlight Nighttime Parade debuts July 20th at Magic Kingdom with new pass holder reservation rules. This is how much Disney loves us pass holders. So, with the Disney Starlight Parade debuting on July 20th, and this is from Attractions Magazine website, Disney World updates pass holder rules. Magic Kingdom now requires daily theme park reservations. So, here's a much anticipated parade. Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away starts entertaining guests. Magic Kingdom on July 20th. First nighttime parade in a decade, blah, blah, blah. Just go look up Tokyo Disneyland. I'm forgetting the name of the parade right now, but I think I showed the video on a stream once. And the one from Tokyo Disneyland, the floats, I didn't even know they could do that with floats, with how it looks like at night. It looks like it's alive and it's absolutely gorgeous. They're just basically ripping that off and bringing it over here to
See, and Disney's banking on, these flood of people just coming, like the tourists that aren't pass holders. They just think all these people are going to show up because they have a bright, shiny parade. And they don't realize, people for a while now have been careful on their spending. And people are getting smarter as time goes on.
yeah.
They're also careful what they're
But
going to subject their kids to, Erica.
Yeah, and it's multifaceted in terms of, picking Disney over something else, but they just have it in their heads that, oh, well, we're just gonna have this massive, you know, crowd of people that, oh, well, we want to restrict the pass holders because we want to make sure we're making money off the tourists. What tourists? They're not even showing up to your parks.
No.
And this has been going on for the last like 4 years. Like,
it's like, yeah.
Okay.
It makes zero sense. And they wonder why people are just like, you know what, Disney, which is a shame because for some of us, or for a lot of us, Disney was like the epitome of theme park innovation. You were just like, what are they going to have here new, every year? But this is how they treat us. So apparently now through July, so that's July 19th, which is the same pretty much, if you excluding the weekends, you could basically walk into Magic Kingdom without a reservation if you're a pass holder after 2 p.m. on regular days. If it's a good to go day, you can go at any time. But starting July 20th, official statement from Walt Disney World reads, for a limited time, starting July 20th, pass holders will continue to be able to enter the other parks after 4 p.m. without a theme park reservation. However, due to anticipated high demand upon the opening of Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away parade on July 20th, Pass holders visiting the Magic Kingdom at any time of day, including after 2 p.m., must have a theme park reservation.
Anticipated high demand. What a bunch of bull.
Yeah. Totally. If they thought anything about the pass holders, they would have done something like what Universal does. Universal has a VIP section. Well, they have two. They have one section that's just for kids, for them to be able to watch the parade. And it's in a great portion where like the parade turns and you can kind of see everything. They have a VIP section specifically for pass holders. And it's just, first come, first serve. You get there, there's enough capacity, you can stay there. And it's the best spot in the house. You think Disney could have done this for us?
I don't
But
know.
no.
They'd rather sell the dessert party to, any fool that's willing to pay for that. You
Yeah.
know. Which, by the way, you're not going to get a good view of the parade from that pavilion.
No.
You'll see the castle, you'll see the fireworks, you'll see the projections, but the parade, you're going to be the line of sight is not there. You're not going to see the parade. So it's not even worth it.
Oh, hey, Ron. So just for fun, I went in and made a reservation for Magic Kingdom on July 21st. Easy. Lots of resos available, meaning not needed. Yeah, I think.
You know what can happen? They're going to start dropping good todays when they start seeing.
Yes.
There's no, at the last minute, you're going to start seeing the good to, the whatever, good today goes.
You're going to see, you're going to see
yeah.
you're going to see the good to go days.
I mean, you could use your pass as normal days.
Yes, exactly. You could
Yeah.
use it as it was intended. I mean, I got reservations, but I'm just like, we'll see what happens. I literally just did that during this discussion. Here's what I think, and I know we're going to close with this. I know we've been talking about it on the panel. Here's the thing. If this parade was something innovative and different, if it looked like the second coming of the Main Street Electrical Parade, I think people would have made it a point to try to go to the point where you couldn't get any reservation on any date to go. But basically what they did, this is pretty much the parade that you're going to, well, what they're aiming to give you. This is in Tokyo Disneyland. When I saw this, I was just like, how come we can't have this here? And I honestly do not have the faith that we are going to get the way. There's just something so, I don't know what to call it. It's just, it looks like something straight out of Dream, and it feels Disney. The Blue Fairy, they've got the other floats that are in here. Yeah, look at this. I mean, it like reminds me of the Main Street Electrical Parade, the old school one, but quite not. It's even these outfits. I wonder if they're even gonna have these.
I guess we'll find out, and we'll compare it to Tokyo Disney, see if it's identical or maybe a tweaked version of it. I don't know why my gut is telling me it's
Shogi has
gonna
an
be
interesting
identical.
comment there. He says they axed almost half the dancers for Paint the Night because they couldn't get the costumes working.
Wow.
Who said that?
Really?
Shogi,
Where's going Shogi go? What? How could?
Oh,
Wasn't this a parade that
now
they
the
had and they brought back Paint the Night? I wonder what
oh,
happened
that
with
is
the
such a cool
costumes.
float.
Isn't
And
this
her teacup
so?
is moving.
sequences on this the LEDs are instant. I like a lot of the way they're doing that.
And her
It looks.
teacup is moving. That's so pretty. I want to sit on the teacup.
That's almost like with Tinkerbell, the pirate
Yeah,
ship
those
comes
costumes are
through.
amazing.
Mm-hmm. They're great. It's like they look engaging. You've got the old school Disney feels that are going on.
Oh, they have all the fairies, not just
Yeah,
Tinkerbell. See? Disney, come on.
all of them, from
You need
Pixie
to
from
launch
Pixie
your freaking
Hollow.
fairy line. I like the princesses, but I gotta tell you, give me a choice as a little girl, I'm going fairy all the way.
Mm-hmm. When we went to Disneyland like years ago. Oh God, they got Pete's Dragon. When we went to Disneyland, we were there for Pixie Hollow, and I freaking loved it. I was in heaven with Pixie Hollow.
Cool effect.
Yeah,
That chase was done nice. Smoke effect. Okay, they did that cool. And the tail's articulated. Okay.
Mhm.
I think the parade's gonna be good overall. It's just the cost, where Tokyo Disney, I mean, the most expensive part of going to Tokyo Disney is your airline ticket.
Peter Pan.
It's like
I like
what?
that.
It's like what? $70-$80 to get into Tokyo Disney? And then oh no, this is Shanghai Disney. I don't know if Tokyo is doing this, but Shanghai is doing this thing where for $25 or whatever, you can pay for your quote extra magic hours. I'm like, that's nothing. But I mean, Shanghai Disney is that not
Mhm.
they're
Okay, I want
dead.
those sales, Lorena. I want them behind.
Oh, but you know what? Before you even said anything, as soon as I saw sales, I said, "Yeah, Tom's gonna like this." I mean, it's like it's old school Disney,
Disney,
but
yeah.
they've
Lit
just
up.
plussed it up, and that's part of the reason why I'm so glad Oriental Land Company, that park isn't owned outright by Disney. It's actually, I think the majority ownership is the Oriental Land Company, but they could do stuff like it. This is a Pixar float.
That's cute.
This is just freaking awesome. Tokyo Disney was a lower price on tickets. It's on my bucket list to go to Tokyo Disneyland because I mean we talk about the spirit of like Walt Disney leaving the Magic Kingdom. It's like it's going to get to a point where in order to physically experience the Magic
Walt.
Kingdom the way that Walt intended, you're going to have to go to Japan.
Overseas, yeah. And that's not easy. We've lived there, and traveling there is not easy. The time difference, adjusting to being jet lagged. I mean, it is. Gosh, it even thinking about it is daunting because for me, it takes several weeks just to get through the jet lag, and then the time difference, the time zone. It's hell. Like, I'm sorry. It's absolute hell. Maybe other people have a better stomach for traveling that far, but it was hell for us.
I'm just looking at like the
Yeah.
little green aliens, and they're on the backs of the skaters. This is a parade that I've been saying is that this is the one that Disney is just basically gonna take from Tokyo and drop it in. If they execute it well, I think they need a night parade at the parks. So I'm really, really hoping that they're able to pull this off. But
I gotta ask Izzo if he saw this. He was out there. Izzo's place, my friend.
Oh yeah, what did he?
He was out there. I gotta ask him if he saw this parade.
Yeah, ask Izzo's because every time I see this parade, like the first time I saw, oh my gosh, there's a genie.
That's cool.
Are we gonna get this?
I mean, I hope we get this and not just some subpar version of it.
Yeah,
I think that's what we're afraid. I think
We're
that's what
gonna
we're
get the
afraid
Dollar
of.
Tree version.
Yeah, the Dollar Tree version.
Oh God, I
mean, I
can't.
would think they would enlist these people that did this to, collaborate with those in the US. But I mean, that's common sense thinking, and Disney doesn't have common sense. So, there's that.
Yeah. Oh, 900 round trip from Orlando to Tokyo.
Yeah.
And you've got to
Okay.
stop because there isn't a nonstop, which is
Yeah.
okay.
No.
Apparently, Ron DeSantis is working on this to
That's
get a
ridiculous.
nonstop from Orlando to Narita Airport in
That's
Japan.
insane. I don't recommend that. I absolutely don't.
I
I'll
would
tell you
do
why.
that.
It is nope.
I would try it. And the funny thing is, I heard it's cheaper to get into this Disney, so it's like $35 American. So with the flight, you're still ahead.
It's just how exhausting the flight is to be on a flight for that long. I am the one fly to the West Coast, take a break for maybe 2 days, stay at a hotel, just kind of relax, exercise your legs a little bit, and then continue your flight on to Asia because
How
no,
many hours
I
is it
wouldn't do a
total?
straight flight.
How many
I would
hours is it total?
It is, what is it? I think it's like 12 to 15 hours from Los Angeles to Tokyo.
If I could sit in a car for a drive from here
Gosh.
to wherever for
And
that long, I can do that.
you're flying for like 20
in
pretty much
total.
24 hours.
I can
You're
do
in
that.
total
Yeah.
flight hours.
Good.
It is
Yeah,
no, I was okay, like this is going to be disgusting. My stomach was tearing up on me on the flight. My legs were throbbing from sitting and they were hurting. And I was in my 20s at this point. I have to wear compression socks now when I travel. Um, my feet swelled unbelievably. And yeah, and we had stops, and we were flying with the military, so we stopped in LAX, and that was like a 6-hour layover, but still, it was just the
and
flights were just
plus,
so long. Unless you
it,
can afford uh, first class and be in a little cubicle, where you can stretch out and they treat you like royalty and you can sleep and all that, fancy stuff. Sure, knock yourself out. You only live once, you know.
I'm not going to confirm or deny if I can or not.
it
I mean, for
is,
that long of a flight, it might be worth it since it's so cheap
Yes.
to get into Disney and the
yeah,
hotels aren't that expensive. So maybe it's worth going first class, for that long of a flight. But I'm not flying
or
coach
or at
for that
least
long.
business class, because that I will recommend if you're flying overseas. Do business class. The only reason I know is I flew cattle class, I think on British Airways, and I got bumped up to business class because something wasn't working. And I walked into business class and I'm like, this is so nice. They gave you like a little like bag of like, mouthwash, toothpaste, socks, stuff. I'm like, I'm doing this from now on when I fly an international flight. But yeah, to be able to fly direct, that's something I think that's been mainly requested by folks flying from Japan to Orlando. But if you are going and it's your first time that you're going, yeah, I'd say stop over in LA or San Francisco or maybe Orange County. I don't know if there should be because that is international. John Wayne International. Yeah, if you could fly to John Wayne International from Japan, I'd do it because LAX is one of the worst freaking airports. I think Orlando is just a little bit better, but
Nothing
LAX is
beats
one of
Newark.
the.
Newark is the
Oh, yeah.
worst.
I haven't been in Newark. I just know my mom did, and she was just like, I don't ever want to fly to Newark.
Well, actually, no. Let's see. LaGuardia was worse. Newark was
Oh my
second.
gosh. Oh, with the baby crying all the time. Yeah, I will say this about Camera Girl. Engine sounds used to knock her out. So she would be on a plane and they were just like, there's a kid on the plane because we'd have to get up, walk around because she liked to walk up and down, the aisles of the plane. But this is when we would fly from like Philly to LAX and back. And it's a longer flight going east to west than west to east. That's the other thing.
Mm.
That's why I never get any sleep when I would fly to the UK from Philadelphia, because it's just like I just barely got to sleep, and I feel the plane descend, and I wake up and you can see the lights over, Ireland. I'm like, crap, we here already?
Yeah, the
You know?
Atlantic isn't as long as the Pacific.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, LAX is the worst. All the skits are correct. They really are they really are the worst. But was it someone else who said problem with the new parade is that they will insist on including floats based on movies no one went to see and shun the classics. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Like, we won't get the classics. We'll get, like, we used to get like the American patriotic one. They'll probably take that one out. We'll see. It's a new freaking day. It's a new freaking day. We will definitely see. But speaking of July 4th, next Saturday show, we are going to be talking about July the 4th, enjoying July the 4th at the parks, what's going on at the parks, especially in Orlando, and also what is going on outside the parks, because in Orlando, the 4th of July, basically there's fireworks going off from like 10 at night until 1 in the morning.
Outside my house. It's like okay. Plus
Yeah.
rockets. Plus rockets.
Plus rockets.
Hey.
Yeah, plus rockets. The whole place is literally lit up. So that's definitely going to be a show to definitely bring your questions about, where to stay, if you're staying there, where to stay. More importantly, how to pack for the 4th of July. Now, Disney might not be as crowded, but there's certain things you have to do, especially if you want to see either the fireworks or stuff like that. But yeah, definitely strategies. And Disney is also about to see the lowest July 4th attendance that they've seen in a long time. And the last July that I was there, granted I was there on July 3rd, ghost town. And
The
the
last 2
fireworks were
4th
about
of
10
Julys.
minutes shorter than they used to be.
You are
That's
not happy with
crazy.
these fireworks.
Yeah, 4th of July,
Yeah.
the fireworks at Disney World used to be like the gold standard. I mean, that's where they did it for like 20 minutes. It just kept going.
Yeah.
Now, we're here. No, it's not America fireworks like it used to be. Not like that. Apparently SeaWorld's got the America fireworks now. And the other like towns, like my town, each individual town has their fireworks that are going on. It's amazing. But yep, let's go and wrap up here. Love being here. Over 150 of you have been watching this show between YouTube and X. So thank you so very much. Please do hit that like button on YouTube. Please do heart the stream over on X, and make sure you're subscribed to all my folks on this panel, including, of course, Sam, who was with us earlier. Erica, what do you have going on? Whose stream are you crashing? And what you got coming up?
It was crazy. My streaming schedule has kind of increased from your the Florida Man Sunday streams, and now I'm being invited to that Park Place extra magic hours. I guess I do it every other Friday, from the pattern I've been noticing. When I am invited to Pro, you'll find me on there. And then your Resort Recon on Saturdays, your Spice Lounge on Tuesdays.
I got Erica booked, y'all.
Yeah, she does, and I love it. I love hanging out with my new friends. I tell Raph all the time, I like it when my friends ask me if I can come out and play.
It's like, can you come out? Can Erica come out and play?
He
I
just
love
laughs at
it.
me, rolls his eyes. But it's fun.
I love that she's
And
on the panel.
I've been kind of hit up by, we'll say 3 of that Park Place fam to maybe do my own streams.
Cool.
You
I don't know.
should. You definitely
Still trying to
should.
figure out what the niche would be. I don't think it would be pop culture. That's not really what I'm well versed in. I like hearing about it. I can speak to it in some angles, but it's not my quick niche, you know. We'll see. It'll be a while because anyway, but I am editing our current footage finally from our, I don't know, it's been about what, 3 months now of our medieval fest. And my son is actually kind of pestering me, Mom, I want to edit videos. So I'm like, well, okay, I'll give you a
Oh,
shot, see how you do. And
oh, that'll work
um,
because I get camera girl to do my shorts because I'm not
oh,
that good.
really?
I know where my talent ends.
I'd like to
Hers,
give him a shot. You know, I'm always underestimating him and I feel bad. You know, I really do underestimate his talent and his knowledge. Um, and I did tell him the other day, I'm like, you know what? Everything is on the external hard drive. Stick it to your computer, and if you want to give it a shot, go for it. But he's got to find that balance because he's working, and when he's not working, he's gaming. So I'm like, Christian, I thought you were going to edit these videos for me. Um, anyway, yeah. So just dream hopping and editing this one video, or trying to figure out how to do that, either me or Christian, and then trying to figure out like just the future of the channel, to you know make it cool, fun, engaging, all that stuff that we do as content creators, what we try to come up with to provide fun for us and others.
yeah, well, I know whatever you want to do, that's the thing. You just stick with what it is that you want to do. It's like I don't. It's like I do. Oh, I'll do the pop culture thing because yeah, I'm kind of stuck with that now. There's the other stuff too. Watching me die, playing video games. And I love going to the parks. Of course, I live here, so I love finding things out about the parks and not just about the parks, but other things. About the state to like let people know about. I missed the Blue Crab Festival in Palaca this year, so I may have to go.
Blue
May have
crab.
to go.
Oh,
The Blue Crab Festival.
like
Yeah.
you go eating blue crabs. It's not like a fancy seafood, like rare
Oh, it's
delicacy kind of
good.
thing.
No, it is
Oh, that's
literally like pull out the gas, no, the charcoal grill that you made out of half of an oil drum, and you just, you know,
Shopping cart.
blue crabs. It's God, it's so freaking good. It's so good. It's so good. Everything crab, toe boys, gumbo, crab salad,
I'm
blood
hungry now.
crabs. Yeah, just
oh,
that's just it. Because there's so many. Because they're like near the St. John, so they're always the crab guys go out and bring all that stuff back. So that's like the thing. Crab festival. There's also the catfish, catfish festival. It's scary that I know about it, and scary that I want to go every year where they have.
oh,
But
that's
then
the
again, that
southern menu coming out.
yeah, that's the thing in Florida. All these festivals, because blueberry festival, strawberry festival.
I've never been to the Blueberry Festival. That's like a new thing. Strawberry
Mhm.
Festival, I grew up going to Strawberry Fest,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Blueberry Fest, I'm like,
I
since
want
when
the
does
Rum
Florida
Festival.
grow
I want the Rum
blueberries?
Festival. I just want Rum Festival.
You
That's
just
it.
want rum.
Festival.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
I wanna
Rum's
go
like
to
ice cream.
Michigan. They have an apple fest, I think, somewhere in Michigan. I would love to go to that. If it's in the fall, even better with the trees
Ah.
changing color and the apple everything. Oh, yes. I'm, like, all in. I apple and strawberry are, like, my 2 favorite dessert
Oh,
stuff. Anything
there's
strawberry, anything apple.
there's the azalea festival. I think with Florida they're starting to figure out that you know with these festivals like people want to go and experience them. The key lime pie festival, they got that one. that one going on. There's so many. And speaking of Florida, actually, I think it's June 27th down at Disney Springs, which has the best restaurants on Disney property. I will say this. Celebrating favorites of Florida. So my favorite place to go during that is go to Morimoto Asia.
Ooh.
That restaurant is insane. They actually have a citrus grilled grouper on the menu for this festival. Chef Morimoto is off the chain. I love his love his restaurant. You can go inside, with a reservation, or just go to the street food, walk up and buy stuff. It is so good. I usually capture that every year, but yeah, I will be back. I will be back this year as well. Tom, what you got going on? Let the folks know about.
Well, I'm usually on your streams now. I'm enjoying the hell out of this. Coming in, busting chops, being the ugly puss on the pretty panel. Got to bring some mail into this. Just having a good time. Plan to doing more stuff for my dogs and rocket launches, films, stuff like that. Maybe attempt at park humor. Might be a thing. Yeah. Could be
Park humor. What?
Yes, me being stupid at the parks.
Just don't get banned, because that would really
Oh no,
suck.
I won't get banned. Just being me.
Okay, I could see that.
Hey.
Well, make sure, folks, that you subscribe to Tom's channel. Again, one of my blue wrenches. Definitely check out what he's got going on. There it is. There's the blue wrench. We have to get one for Erica. That's
I'm working on a pink one.
Pink red.
But they're talking about I can't ship it to Germany. So it might be 3D.
Not.
It might be 3D printed.
Okay, if you're going to 3D print anything for me, it better be useful for Halloween.
It'll be a pink wrench.
At least I'd use it.
You know what? I made the mistake of walking into a Michael's, and the Halloween stuff is out.
Is it already coming out? Yeah, it's June.
Yes.
We're getting the end of June. I gotta start doing Halloween videos. I'm so behind on everything. Mainly because we're kind of anticipating a move, so things are going really, really slow. I'm scared to plan too much and spend too much money.
I gotcha.
Because then things could suddenly change by the end of July, or it's just a few weeks away. Oh my god!
Yeah, I get you. But that reminds me that I need to go to Lowe's to see. I don't need to see the inflatables, but I'm gonna go.
Girl, Lowe's already dropped their Halloween 2025 stuff. They got a hitchhiking ghost animatronic, $2.99. You're welcome.
I'm just going to look at more guitars. I'm staying that way.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
hitchhiking ghost with a guitar.
No. Just I not just damn it. Why?
Well, oh my gosh. Well, it's gonna be fun, especially with the Halloween decorations, because I like to go all out. Erica likes to go all out. I think last year we had a show talking about how to decorate, for Halloween. Like if you want to recreate the Haunted Mansion or Halloween
we were going to, but we never actually did the full stream. We kind of salt and peppered it, but we didn't really go deep dive into it.
One dedicate. Okay, yeah, we need to do that.
We got to do a deep dive.
We got to do that. So you guys know get your shopping list ready, because stuff will go very
mermaids before spooks
quickly.
Ooh, that'd be a pretty backdrop.
What, mermaids?
Oh, I just had some ideas for a summer backdrop.
I have a mermaid skeleton. I actually have two. I have I
just need a water light
and merman skeletons. Yes.
I have a merman picture I need to send you, Lorena and Erica, and he happens to be a family member.
Oh, that's weird.
And if he's watching right now, he's probably going to be yelling at me.
Yes, and if you need smells, Magic Candle Company. Yes, I do have a discount code in the
I have to
description box.
order.
Halloween.
Shogi
Yes.
Shogi
There's one.
just ordered from you. I need to make an order.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Haunted. Smells like the Haunted Mansion.
Yes, I have it. And I use it sparingly because I'm overseas. So I only use it on like maybe the day before Halloween, and then on Halloween just to get the smell already going in the house. So I have plenty for this year, but I don't really smell it up all year round with Haunted Mansion just because it can take like 2 weeks to get the stuff and I get impatient.
That smell, you just spray it and you feel like you set foot inside of the Haunted
It
Mansion
does.
and you're gonna hear foolish mortals. I mean, dead on, dead on accurate. Did they come up with the Epcot sewage smell?
Oh, man.
Oh, that's
That's
bad.
smelling.
That's bad. Well, as for me, let's see, tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, gonna be playing. My plan is play a little bit of Stellar Blade with the darn controller because the keyboard just sucks. Can't do that with that. So doing some Stellar Blade. Come watch me die a lot while looking very, very fabulous as I do so with all the different outfits that I get to wear. Nothing like slaying demons wearing a mini skirt and a garter and heels. That's pretty cool. So
You never say I have.
I'm gonna be doing that, and of course, no Welcome to Florida show on tomorrow night because at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm gonna have my 5-year YouTube celebration. So come on out. I'm hoping Erica and Tom and a whole bunch of other folks are gonna be dropping in. We're gonna have fun, just chilling. Probably play a couple rounds of Celebrity Quiplash as well, because that's always fun. Play, match the weapon to the crime. One of my favorite things to do because I love true crime and the mug shots. That's all I'm going to say. The mug shots are absolutely iconic, and maybe react to a couple of funny things, but basically just to celebrate and thank you guys for 5 years of me being on YouTube. If you would have told me 5 years ago I'd be doing this, I would have said that you were crazy because there's just no way. I'm like, I don't want to go in front of a camera. Who the heck wants to see me talk about stuff? There's also a whole lot of other people I could do that instead. But yeah, I'm here. So we are just going to have a blast, chilling, hanging out with my friends. Hilarity will most definitely ensue. I mean, these streams, I kind of keep it to like 3 to 4 people, but the celebration streams, everybody's on it, and it's crazy fun. So you do not want to miss it. It's going to be great. And of course, Monday, I think 8 p.m. Eastern, I will be out at the Magic Kingdom. So we're going to have fun going out there, seeing what the crowds aren't like, and having a blast. Yes, that is tomorrow. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Pacific, I believe. So it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Well,
1
you
a.m.
guys,
here.
oh Lord,
I can make it, by the way.
cool. We're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna have so much fun, especially when we all break down the skit from the Chappelle Show called The Racial Draft. I'm sorry, we got to do it. It is so funny.
Here.
It is absolutely hilarious. Well, folks, again, you guys are awesome. Thanks so much for being here, supporting us over there on X, supporting us on YouTube. Subscribe to all my folks here on the panel. Thanks so much for Sam dropping in on the chat, and we will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.